Hey, yo, everyone. Welcome to Season 12, Stage 2, Week 2 of AAOL, presented by AOB Sports. I am Nikki. With me tonight is Slayer, and we have two big matches for you tonight. We have East Coast Krakens and Reboot Fan Club, and then following up on that, we have Ace Kings and Koala's Esports Odyssey. Slayer, how are you feeling about these matches?
Mate, it's a Div 2 and a Div 4. What can go wrong? Everybody is absolutely hyped for these ones. It's going to be some good quality games, you know, some higher divs as well. We're going to be going straight into those fights. We're going to be doing some quality casting, and my guy couldn't have a better duo.
Yeah, it is. These high-level matches are always so much fun because the intensity is just always there. The teams are going at it like wolves, and they're usually pretty well contested. There aren't as many sweeps because each team knows how to put up that fight. But before we get into that, we just need to do a few housekeeping things. Of course, this is AAOL presented by AO Esports. It is a 10-week tournament. Both winners do 2 5-week stages. It is the largest tournament in the Oceanic region with 50 teams in its 12th season, and it is available to everyone. You can sign up as an individual, you can sign up as a team if you want, and all that information can be found in the Discord and the websites, which should be down below the stream here tonight. So be sure to check that out if you want to get involved and get involved in the community, really.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, if you wanna involve yourself in the community, the best way definitely is to jump in that Discord there. There's some weird things going on though, so you might want to keep your eye on some of our socials and some of those pings as well. If you've missed some past streams or anything like that, you'll be caught up pretty quickly with whatever's going on with everything that is announced in, our announcements channel.
Yeah, you said that the best way to support the community is in the Discord. I'd like to one-up you there. You could support us over on Patreon as well, along with getting exclusive early access to the podcast in the backline, or a bunch of other fun perks, including the pink roll in the Discord, so everyone knows how pretty damn epic you are by supporting us on Patreon. That is an option as well to support us and keep the content flowing. So just keep that aware as well. Links to that should also be down below or in the Discord.
And everybody in this chat right now, we have a prediction up live right now. You can see it up in the top of your Twitch chat there. Who do you think's gonna win? Is it gonna be the one and only East Coast Convicts, or will it be taken out by the Reboot Fan Club?
This is a really tough prediction to make, Slayer, because both of these teams are undefeated so far in Stage 12 of AAOL. Season 12, Stage 2, of AAOL. They are both undefeated, both 2-0. So one of these teams' successful streak will be cut painfully short tonight. And that is a pretty big thing to get excited for. And one of these teams, if they keep on going at this, if they keep the train going, I should say, they are very possibly going to go undefeated, which sets a pretty big hallmark for the level that these teams will be playing at.
I mean, one, it sets the hallmark, and two, it pulls them up to Div 1. You gotta keep that up onto mine. So one team out of Div 2 is gonna be rising up to Div 1 this season. At the end of this stage to enter season 13, or is there 4 stages? I forget.
Yeah. Quickly, we're going to run through the rosters that we have for you tonight. As we have mentioned, it is East Coast Convicts, hailing from Unrivaled Esports, I should say, and then we have Reboot Fan Club. The roster of East Coast Convicts is looking as so. We have Snow and Kuro rocking the tanks. Geef Beef Winter are doing the damage, and we have Botnix and Dave Pokemon on the supports, keeping everyone on the battlefield. Particular mention should go out to Geef Beef, because I'm pretty sure that they follow me on Twitter. And we have Dave Pokemon as well, who has been around in the scene for so long. A very from my experience, a very prominent Lucio player. So if there's a Lucio in the back line, odds are it's going to be Dave Pokemon.
Hey, look, we have those players looking out for, but I up you one. Let's have a look at Reboot Fan Club instead. We've got a killer lineup coming here with Tank Line being Random Thing and Deluxe. Lazy Q and Lukey on that deadly DPS duo. And Dashi and Slendy to keep them all up and alive.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very exciting matchup. Either way, even if there are substitutions or whatnot, it is sure to be a thrilling one. And from the looks of things, Slayer, we are starting off at Nepal. And it's a pretty interesting match all the way around. And something, when we're looking at these higher divisions of competition provided by AAOL, the question is, are these teams going to play what they're comfortable with? Or are they going to play into the meta that they are seeing from things in other tournaments that are going around in the OCE region, or even at like a professional level? Like Overwatch League Open Scrims have been going around. There's been some Overwatch League level competition in the mix as well. So there is so many resources where you can pull ideas from how you want to play the game. So I'm really excited to see what kind of method these teams favor. If they're going to go for comfortability or if they're going to go for what is perceived as the strongest at the highest level.
Oh, sorry about
that.
Definitely, like, it is up to this level where it's not going to be comfort picks anymore. We're up in that type of echelon. That upper echelon of play at this point when you hit Div 2, especially Div 1 here. But, look, it's all up to what the players have scrimmed, what they are practiced in, and what comes out from the enemy team as well. Because at that point, you start the rock, paper, scissors game that is Overwatch compositions.
Yeah, and I saw some really exciting rock, paper, scissors going on last night in another match that I was casting. Really exciting stuff. That was even higher level than Division 2 AAOL, which is saying something about the caliber of those players. And we saw lots of rock, paper, scissors. It made it super, super exciting. A really good series all the way around. Hoping to keep my streak of good series that I get to talk over alive tonight, as we have East Coast Krakens and Reboot Fan Club loading into the lobby. As we mentioned, starting off at Nepal, we are starting off, I believe this is Shrine. So, a few things to point out. Of course, the gaping obvious one is the big old pit next to the point. If you're someone like Dave Pokemon, or if you're the Lucio player on the opposite team, that's a pretty good opportunity for you to get some environmental kills, add to the highlight reel, make you feel pretty epic. So that should be watched out for. And there's also potential for boots to go in there from any other abundance of characters. Wrecking Balls, Winstons even. Reinhardt if you try really, really hard. So watch out for that pit. It is really going to impact how these teams play around the point. And also very quickly, as we are just loading into this lobby, getting everything going, composition-wise, it's looking really interesting. I'll be surprised if we see two Genjis coming out. Genji is not the most orthodox pick in the world, but it looks like they actually want to make it happen. Winston D.Va versus the Ryan D.Va. So Deluxe and Botniks are going to have a really interesting battle of which main tank is going to get more value on this specific map player.
But it looks like Botniks is going to be taken out really quick there. Pushing straight through is still the side of Reboot Fan Club. Sorry, I'm just going to double check there. Yes, it is Reboot Fan Club on the blue side, and they are going to continue their wipe and just remove the rest of the East Coast
Convicts.
You said it first.
Up too. East Coast are a team. They are a team. I'm in their sub. There's so many East Coast. But that was a really interesting sight. Luke got off to a really solid start on the McCree, landing all of the shots left, right, and center. And that's what you have to do on this McCree. The consistent damage that is provided by the Peacemaker is super impactful.
Oh, Lukey Pookie, that's just a little bit BM, buddy. But you do get that kill in the end. We still have the Battle of the Titans still going on. But Reboot Fan Club are just pushing straight into East Coast Convicts here. And they're just going to wipe up the rest of the show.
They are. The decisive engage that the Ryan gives is so good because the team, they can close the distance to the opposition so comfortably behind the safety of their Reinhardt shield. And once they get to that close range, Lazy Q can start getting those dash resets in. The D.Va does so much more damage. Even Slendy can get in on the action, as we saw at the end of the tail end of that fight there. So the Reinhardt is paying dividends at the moment, but their biggest challenges are coming out with the Nano Boost.
There we go. The Nano Boost is out and active. Are we going to be able to see something else? There's another Nano Boost coming out straight onto that Reinhardt this time. Now we have both the tanks using their ults this fight, trying to get something else. Deluxe is just wiping up both of the supports for the side of East Coast Convicts here. Reboot Fan Club, you've just absolutely demolished them so far. 70% to nil.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the play from either of those teams. Both Ana's electing to chuck the nanos onto the main tanks instead of holding it for the Genji blades. So now Lazy Q and G-Speed will both be going in dry to this, what could be final fight, and it's going to be Lazy Q popping first.
But Nick's absolutely destroyed by that D.Va bomb, and it just continues from there. Lazy Q, oh, and the bad play! Jeff B trying to get something going, but just can't do it. They Pokemon the last person on the site, and that will surrender round one, map one, to the side of Reboot Fan Club.
Yeah, off to a very solid start they are, but I think it's a bit too early to call it a team difference. I think that was very much what we alluded to in the pre-show, that rock, paper, scissors really going in favor of Reboot there. The Reinhardt was just getting so much more value than the Winston. Botnix was having a really, really rough time. And although they did eventually swap over to the big German man with the blue rectangle, it might have just been a little bit too late. And Ultimate Economy was just down at the dumps. The momentum was just all over the shop for East Coast Convicts, and they're going to have to really turn it around here. And now we're actually going to see a little bit of a flip of the script. This time it's going to be Botnik starting the Reinhardt and Deluxe over on the Winston. Given how that last round played out, I'm really curious as to what prompted this decision, but Deluxe going in with the confidence, Lukey with the dive on the Doomfist as well, that could be a pretty devastating dive onto anyone in the backline. Snow's going to have to be very, very quick with that immortality fit.
The dive is out and it goes straight onto those supports there. Botnik is really low though. He got purpled and that's the it for Deluxe though. Botnik's also falls. That's both of the main tanks gone. Snow, dangerous health there, but Linter takes out Lukey Pookie, who took out Botnik. So now it is up on the side of East Coast Convicts, but Lazy Q on that little bit of a side angle, taking out Dave Pokemon, and there is a lever, so we'll have to just pause for a second there.
Yeah, we have to set up camp here as the off tank for Reboot Fan Club. I'm just taking a little bit of a break. Things not quite going the way. This is 2 nights in a row, actually, that random thing is out of DC. Something they might want to check out. Go to the GP. Like get a diagnosis or something. Oh yeah, I diagnose you with OCE internet, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's kind of how the cookie crumbles here. And it's going to be really interesting when Random Thing comes back, but they don't have control of the point anyway, so odds are they would have to wait for them to respawn before having another crack at the objective either way. So in the grand scheme of things, it might be too impactful. A little bit of Volt Charge might be chucked to Layside, but that is not the worst outcome in the world. If we look at these compositions in a little bit more detail here, we have the DPS combos are really, really interesting. Lukey and Deluxe are going for a dive with the Doomfist and the Winston respectively, and they're having a little bit of a tough time, I imagine, against the McCree of Winter particularly. The flashbang is going to be really, really solid. And if the McCree is just consistently playing with Snow, who's rocking the Baptiste for this round, that's a pretty undivable combo. And then that raises the question, who is Deluxe and Lukey going to dive? Random Thing would be in that dive as well. Who are they going to dive? They don't really have anyone. The Echo's all the way up in the sky. The Lucio's hippity-hoppity all over the place. So this might be a question of, does she just have to land an anti-nade onto tank and then eliminate them? Is that their only dive option? So I'm really starting to doubt the composition here. And it's kind of suggesting to me that throughout the series, we might see a little bit more favoring towards the Brawl, just because the dive and the abundance of like anti-dive characters that you can just play is going to be a little bit of a mongrel to deal with.
It does look like they're doubling down though. They're still keeping on that ball pick. They're still having all of that fun. And it does look like they are going to actually be diving a lot of Botniks, who almost falls there. But the Immort field does save him in the end. The anti though comes out and Snow falls. Kuro and Botniks, you're under half HP there. Watch out, Botniks is about to die there. Deluxe takes him out in the final hit there. Winter takes out his gun, and here we go, Kuro. A nice bomb there, takes out Slendy. Lazy Q headshot right onto Kuro. Didn't stand a chance, but here we go. It is actually a pretty even, no it's not. Never mind, this is not an even fight, sorry. Reboot fan club are up a few players, but are they going to be able to cap points for the rest of the East Coast Convicts get back? We will see in the next few seconds here. Winston has been turned into Botniks, dies from Deluxe. Oh, there, Slendy takes out Snow. We're still on that point. We're still contesting it. There's a 5% down onto the 66 and still rising and counting. But East Coast
Convicts player.
Convicts, thank you. Their hold of point has been ceased for just even a little bit.
Reboot Fan Club is back on it just like they would like to be, and a lot of that credit has to go to Dashi on the Ana. As I was kind of talking about, she landed that anti-nade, which turned out to be so crucial. Also, very crucially, the Immort, as you mentioned, was bought out by Snow super early, and once the anti was landed, no Immort to protect them, that is when the dive was effective. So there has to be a lot of setup for these dives to be successful for Reboot Fan Club.
Oh, mines are out though by Random Thing. He's already got his ult out. Winter takes him out, but in the end though, Deluxe and Pookie, they're getting the spoils of the war there. The rest of East Coast Convicts are just falling one by one. Their Pokemon takes out Dashi, but that's not going to get you anywhere when you die immediately by Dashi's left click after you kill them. And the stagger onto Kuro as well. It is sad to see, chat. 66%, and now the Reboot Fan Club Chief Beef. It's even worse.
That was a bit of a dirty headshot coming out from Lazy Q. Not having any real problems on the Widowmaker at all. Kind of able to set up camp wherever they see fit, get the best sightlines possible, and they are doing a marvelous job of working around the Ryan shields that are being posed up by Botniks. Not seem to be too much of an issue, and Dave Pokemon engaging super early Slendy Mirror.
Meteor Strike is out from Lukey Pookie. He drops down, tries to get someone else in that ultimate there. Nothing comes out, but D-Luck takes down Snow and Lazy Q. Another kill on the G-Beef. That's another headshot onto a Tracer. Winter and Kuro, though, they're trying to bring this back, and they Pokemon getting that kill onto Lazy Q. Random Thing takes out Botniks. The main tank, the off tank. It's just not looking very nice anymore for the East Coast Convicts. It's pretty even right now, ladies and gentlemen. The High Noon comes out, takes out Slendy, puts Random Thing on pretty low HP. Snow takes him out in the end, and there we go. It is right back into the hold of East Coast Convicts.
It is, and it was right off the back of Chief Beef. They did get onto Lazy Q, the Tracer versus Widow matchup. That is what has to happen. As soon as Lazy Q was out of that fight, the damage output was just so much lower for Reboot Fan Club, and that is what cost them the fight. Even though G-Beef eventually got taken down by a pretty nutty close-range headshot from Lazy Q, the absorbing that attention was enough to get the job done, and now this is final fight Territory Slayer.
Absolutely, it's going to have to be the final fight here, ladies and gentlemen. 99% to 99. It is now in overtime for both teams. It's East Coast Convicts try to get something out with that Demon Bomb, but nothing actually comes out of it. Random Thing takes out the Immort field, but Winter takes out Random Thing for taking that one. Look, that's my extra health you got there, but Snow is also out of this question here. Kuro takes out Dashi. That's both aim supports gone for both sides. Deluxe is taken out in the end. Winter takes out Slendy. It's looking good for East Coast Convicts. We've only got 2 more players left on the scene for the side of Reboot Fan Club, and they don't get the touch. It is now 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams getting some nice frags on that board.
We do have a game on our hands indeed, Slayer. That was a pretty intense final fight, but Winter was able to seal the deal, landing those crispy left clicks with McCree's Peacemaker, getting a lot of value out of it. And this is interesting. Winter opting into this final round of, I don't even know what this round called. It's Nepal. Let's go. But if this is the most brawl-heavy Nepal stage there is, essentially, and a lot of that is created by the tight choke points that are surrounding the objective itself, and that can trigger a lot of Reinhardt Zarya play, a lot of Lucio play, and really crucially, a lot of Mei play. And Winter, living up to that icy theme, is going over to the Mei, and you'll see them pass straight towards the point, and as soon as they have control of that, the Mei wall will dictate who is allowed to enter the objective, and that will dictate who they choose to fight. GP from the Symmetra, just gatekeeping as well, going to be very, very tough nut to crack for Reboot.
Winter takes out Lukey Pookie really early in that fight there. Dashi having to use their E to just get everyone back up to health. But look at this Jeep Beef. I was trying to figure out if that was right or not. Jeep Beef is very high charge on that Sim. She's absolutely melting that shield as it goes down. Slendy takes out Jeep Beef. That is the end of your tyranny there. Lazy Q takes out the Immort, and now they have nothing to stop them from dying as instantly Kuro takes out Luka Pookie. It's not looking good for the Reboot fan club here. East Coast Convicts, they're taken out one by one. That's a slam coming out, and that is the end of Reboot fan club's push, where East Coast Convicts land on 25%.
Yeah, oh, wait. I think you might have called it a little bit too soon, Slay. It's
only Lucio.
Yeah, Wendy is falling, and luckily enough, East Coast Convicts do stay in control, and that is best case scenario for them, because they have the Mei, they have the Symmetra, their game plan is in full effect. Anyone having to contest the point will have to face the wrath of Winter, Jeef Beef, and Snow. There's so many icy players on the side of East Coast Convicts. That's kind of neat. I like it. I love the synergy. Maybe that's why they're more synergized now, because they have the names.
Yeah. No, they absolutely no. The snow map's absolutely going for it. Look, they're gonna choose Volskaya. Watch them.
Oh, 100%.
Watch them. You know, snow, winter.
It just makes a lot of sense.
This makes sense. Beef! Another kill onto Lukey Pookie so early. Half the team of the East Coast Reboot fan club is down, and it's gone before it even starts.
That was such a just clinical fight from East Coast Convicts there. Only off the air matrix. They only had to use one ult. That is ridiculous. Botnick's getting the fire strike in there straight away, and Slendy down early as well. Going into this final fight, all the odds are stacked against Reboot Fan Club. They're going to have to pull some sort of a miracle off here against 5 ultimates as well. I do not see this going
miracle well. Is a shutter! Ladies and gentlemen, all of them get taken down, but nothing comes out of it. Jeep Beef takes out Lazy Q, and Z-Lux takes out Snow. But again, it's just happening all over again. East Coast Convicts round 1 was absolutely just a warm-up, and you're showing it with a 0 to 100 and an easy win for Nepal. East Coast Convicts goes up to 1 point.
Ooh, that was kind of fancy. I like that. Excuse me, sorry, let me burp. But we have this play of the game coming out from Botniks. Unsurprisingly here, this will be the Amp Matrix play. There it is, that fire strike doing so much damage. Dashi, she did not stand a chance, unfortunately. Botniks cleaning up with the rocket hammer as well. And I think a really big takeaway going into this next maps and the rest of this series as a whole is that the Brawl looks to be better off. The teams playing the dive compositions are not having as much success. These teams are getting the most out of their players and getting the most success when they are grouped up with the Reinhardt. They have someone around them, and they're finding it easier to dictate the fights and when they want to fight and what they actually want to achieve. So, just the real, I don't want to say simple win condition of a Brawl, but it's a bit easier to digest than something like a dive. And that isn't just an opinion. That's kind of something that we're seeing at the professional level as well. Because at the start of a really cool trend has been identified recently. Like at the start of every Overwatch League season, the teams are always playing Brawl compositions. Like last year it was Goats, the year before it was Goats, and then the year after that, which was last year, 2020, was a lot of Mei, McCree, Ryan Diva, which is very similar to what we just saw pulled out by East Coast Convicts. So the Brawl competitions is favoring these teams who are newer or not as synergized. I know both these teams have pretty relatively recent additions starting in the lineup tonight. So it is explaining a lot why that lineup is successful, Slayer.
Hey, look, and if you've been on team trials at all, it also just makes sense. You know, if you're trialing for a team and you're like on a team full of trials, what's the one comp that you guys can play well? It's Brawl. Poke, you know, you need some more synergy coming in. Some Dive, again, it's about that synergy and the communications being all clean. But with Brawl, you know, it's press WM1. But not really, you know, it's more convoluted than that. But just for simplistic sake, WM1 versus whatever like everything else has. Like, it's so many more steps to the other compositions.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head, and I agree with you. You don't want to discredit the complexity of a well-oiled Brawl composition, because there's still so much going on. Like, something as simple as coordinating, perceived as so simple as coordinating a Ant Matrix Fire Strike, that can, if that isn't communicated clearly and properly by everyone involved in that kind of interaction, it goes right down the drain and everyone involved looks a little bit silly. So still, do not undersell the amount of comms that is required from a Brawl composition, particularly from the main tank player. That is back way in the dinosaur ages when I still played on teams. I was rocking the Reinhardt, and I found my best shot calling always came in Brawl compositions. I found it easier to identify what I wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
And it's why it's so successful, because a lot of the time the main tanks are doing a better job of leading these teams, and the leadership is definitely showing, and it will have to continue showing, Slayer, as we head back to Germany, Reinhardt, hometown, on Eichenwald.
Damn. Looks like is it? Yeah, no, that's next round where we get to see potentially some Volskaya. But
yeah.
Eichenwald out of Numbani, one of those two. You know, some people would say it's a very close match between the two, but I'm seeing a lot more Eichenwald, you know. It's just, I think, like, Eichenwald is just a little better than Numbani personally. And I think a lot of other people would agree with that.
Yeah, I can back that. I'm on the same boat as you. I think that Eichenwald is a little bit more versatile. There's points where...
I'm not calling Numbani a bad map at all.
Oh, no.
You know, it's a good map, but Eichenwald's just a little better.
I think that also from a caster's perspective, you can get anticipate some really cool stuff compositionally, because like on this first point, Poke has always been so good, spamming with the Fire or a Junkrat or anything like that. Not quite what we are seeing today, but that has always been so good. On point 2, with all the high ground, Dive is almost a necessity, and then point 3, the Brawl is so good. There's demanding excellence in all three formats of, like, basic formats of composition is something pretty unique to Eichenwald, something that is not stretched across all of the map pools. And Lukey is on a really early flank on the Tracer, so I love this double bubble composition coming out from the offense. They can take their time, get people in position on the flank, and they're going to collapse on one target from a bunch of different angles, and they're going to have a tough time staying alive.
Yeah, Lukey Pookie trying to just having so much pressure put on them from those tanks and everything. But like, it comes to the point where when the rest of East Coast Convicts come in, Lukey Pookie comes in the back just like that, takes out Winter, and now we're starting to see a little bit more of a fight with one man down on the side of Reboot Fan Club. We're gonna see some more diving coming through. D-Luck takes out Snow. And now it's just down to the tanks on point. We've already got an ult coming out. Bashy takes out Botnix. And we're going to see the rest of East Coast Convicts just ruin the day for Reboot Fan Club and chat, because they voted for Reboot Fan Club. Yes, you are.
Oh, that was such a methodical offense on point A from Reboot Fan Club. Lukey was all the way up the flank super early on, but they didn't engage straight away. They waited until they saw the opportunity to engage, then they took it with both hands, firmly taking point A. And now onto point B. The high ground control should be so much better for Reboot Fan Club as well, with the Winston and the Echo. This should favor them, but this fight didn't quite go their favor. Going for the snowball, trying to get some staggers. Early map control didn't quite go their way, but still, going into this next fight is looking pretty hectic. The defense of East Coast Convicts, they have 6 ultimates online. That is not very good, and will be pretty scary for Reboot Fan Club if they have tracked that. but they still have a lot of resources to work with as well. Particularly the Primal Rage for Deluxe will allow them to go so much more aggressive than usual.
Oh, but that's gonna absolutely just put a full stop on that initial push from the side of East Coast Convicts there. Look, Lukey, I'm sorry, man. You get the nice frag, but there's more people dead than alive on your team. But oh, on the snow pick is absolutely insane. Lazy Q and Lukey just ruining the backline of East Coast Convicts here. Reboot Fan Club, they're still in the fight. D-Luck takes down Winter, and it's just continuing and further on. The High Noon comes out. Lazy Q is taken out. GB, Lukey's Pulse Bomb is eaten by Kuro. Very nice on that side there. But D-Luck just ulting away that Reinhardt until he just falls dead. And the rest was history.
It really was. I was on the same side as you. I thought that East Coast Convicts, they invested 4 ultimates. I thought they had secured that fight, but LaserQ and Lukey were just putting constant pressure onto Snow, and I believe it was Winter who at that point was on the Soldier 76. That constant pressure generated some late picks. The spawn advantage went way in their favor, and because of that, they have snowballed it into a pretty clean point B capture. They didn't even have to use the Nano Boost, the Rally, or the Graviton Surge. That is 3 big tools that going into this final hallway phase of Point C will be so impactful, particularly the Graviton Surge, Kuro. She is going to have to be on her toes on this, hoping to get the negate with the defense matrix onto the Graviton Surge. Even their ultimate will be so impactful for the team if she can pull it off.
Absolutely, and the fight is just continuing on and on and on, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see some more coming out, but that Shadox absolutely destroys the side of... What did they again? Reboot Fan Club. Sorry about that one. Kuro takes out random thing. D-Luck, though, we're seeing a little bit of a comeback. Hold on, they did not leave, so do we even call it a comeback? There it is, the Reinhardt the transformation. Kuro does take out Dashi. She falls sadly in that fight there. But what else are we going to see from East Coast Convicts here? Try to get that shadow off, but it just doesn't come through. We've got some more coming through. That's it. We've just got an absolutely massive wall in front of him. Snow takes out Slendy. Lazy Q finishes off that inward. But here we go. The side of East Coast Convicts, they're just continuing on. That is it. Reboot Fan Club, stop.
That was such a good example from Snow of how impactful a Batiste can be in these enclosed spaces. Everyone from their team was locked up in the Graviton Surge. Very well done by Random Thing, but the Immortality Field immediately encapsulating the rest of their team, keeping them safe with that 25% HP threshold, keeping everyone alive. And then on top of that, the Ant Matrix went in front of the grab, so anyone like Deluxe trying to close the distance to get the Hammer Swings in was just taking so much more damage because of the Amplification Matrix. Wonderful play from Snow.
Absolutely, here we go. This is it. D-Luck takes him down. Random Thing finishes off Botnik. Both Immorts are down and gone from both teams there. Winter's ultimate, though. Bob is just absolutely destroying the side of his... Sorry, the Reboot Fan Club here. What are they going to be able to do? They do take down the Bob. They Pokemon takes out Lazy Q. Both McCree's on the either side now gone out of that fight for now. And the back has been initiated from Reboot Fan Club. Just a little bit of a pause here while they try and get Lazy Q back. And they are going right back in. We're going to see some more. There it is. That's it. The Shatter tries to come out, but no one gets caught by it. Another Diva Bomb comes out. D-Luck successfully finishes that one, but he has no barrier now. We're just trying to figure out who's going to be able to push this in first. Who's going to get the creme de la creme. Botnik goes down to half HP, but it's not going to be enough. We're just going to see some more pushing in by Reboot Fan Club, but hold on, Deep Beef, he has his ult out. What's going to happen now? He's trying to get anyone to follow him in, but Lazy Q takes down Winter, and the High Noon doesn't catch anyone. There it is, 2 main tank ults, and that's going to probably see the end of the hold by East Coast Krakens here. They're just falling one by one. The Reboot Fan Club, they're just absolutely pushing through and taking the rest of it down. No one's on point, but now they come back to Botnik, so he's just trying so hard to keep himself on the point. Take Pokemon and Botnik to take him down, and Kuro can't find their way back to the point. Round 1 is completed with 1:16 on the clock.
That was a very well-deserved point B capture from the side of Reboot Fan Club there. And I think one thing that I really want to highlight in that final engage was in that brawl composition surrounded by the Lucio aura of Slendy, they didn't leave that aura at all for the entire initial engagement of that fight. The bomb came out from Kuro. They all backed up within the speed boost. Everyone perfectly in sync behind the Rhine shield. Then they engaged as well. The high noon, everyone took their cover. They were always playing in groups. They never got separated from each other, and that is their security. They had security in numbers. The one exception to that, of course, was when Lazy Q wrapped all the way around the outside, went on a pretty monstrous flank on about 90% on the high noon, and got the pick onto Winter, who at the time was on the Ash. The flashbang headshot came in big, and funnily enough, Lazy Q didn't elect to stay behind and go for the flank high noon, probably recognizing that that would just be a little bit too risky for their lives. So really big play from Lazy Q, not getting too big for their boots, knowing when they have stayed their welcome, getting straight out of dodge back to the safety of their team. Wonderful display, knowledge of how to play the brawl composition and when to go on that flank from Lazy Q and co. Now going into this next point, we are back on point A. It is going to be Reboot Fan Club on the defense. They set up a pretty solid time, but it is not at all out of the question that it is topped, mirrored by East Coast Convicts, excuse me. And interestingly enough, they're running a pretty dive composition, very long range as well with the DPS. As I say that, Winter swaps over to a bit more of a mid-range sort of 76, who will just be...
Look at this, over the roof. They didn't even notice they went over the roof there. Slendy has taken a very hard hit there, trying to see what happens to the rest of them. But D-Luck, hold on, he's back in their backline as well. The backlines are both being dove at the same time. D-Luck, though, getting so much more out of it, getting 3 kills before they're taken out by GB finally. Lukey Pookie finishing off Kuro at the choke. And that's going to be the end of a push?
Yeah, it was. Deluxe was faced with a really tough decision on the defense there. They had the option to dive the divers of, in that case, it would have been Botnix and Kuro and potentially G-Beef in there as well. Or they had the option to expose the dived backline at the time of Snow, because Dave Pokemon was up in the sky. Since Dave is up in the sky...
Oh,
look! My man.
Lukey, the double kill on that is absolutely insane, and we finish it off. Kuro sadly takes out Lukey, the MVP of that push, but I'm gonna need my
double kill pulse bombs. Getting such massive impact out of an ultimate that you can get as regularly as a pulse bomb is really what separates the good Tracer players from the great ones. It's a pretty monumental ultimate given how quick that it is charged, and that is an anti as well, speaking of monumental player.
Oh, yeah. There we go, Winter takes out Lukey Pookie with that headshot. He's just out of that fight for the next, quite a while here. The random thing though takes out Snow. That's a very critical pick, but Botnik, Lazy Q, now both of the DPS for the side of East Coast Convicts here. They're now gone for a second. Reboot's fan club. But hold on, Reboot fan club, they're just absolutely demolishing the side of East Coast Convicts here. What is happening here? Oh, the hold is continuing. Only getting 52% onto that board. They did get a tick, but it's not enough to cap.
That was a really big play coming out from Random Thing on the Zarya that turned that fight back in the favor of Reboot fan club. They were down pretty hefty numbers advantage, but they were able to lock up 2 players with the Graviton Surge on the payload, and the D.Va defense matrix could not eat the Zarya left click because it is a laser, so it just didn't work. Big plays from Random Things to keep Reboot fan club's point A full hold hopes alive from them, but that is a thing that might be too big to come back from player.
Absolutely, 2 down is nothing to scoff at. Now it is 3. It's just looking worse and worse for the side of Reboot fan club here. They're just falling one by one. G-Beef and Kuro are just demolishing what was the defense of East Coast Convicts. Now 3 minutes are on the clock, and the payload has finally started to move.
It is, but because of how decisive that... Oh wait, no, I've got myself way mixed up, never mind. Now the high ground advantage is back in favor of the defensive team. Really crucially, the offense was unable to kind of get control of that high ground. And now we'll have Lazy Q who'll be able to set up camp all the way up on the high ground pretty uncontested once they return from spawn. So that is going to be a big threat that East Coast Convicts are going to have to deal with from the ground. They don't really have anyone to challenge them besides Kuro, who will have to put in some big work this fight.
Absolutely, and look, the grab is the start of something good, but nothing really comes out of it other than, hey, you stand there for a second longer. Slendy takes out Winter though. Kuro pushing Lazy Q off the side of the map. You hate to see it, but the map comes out. We're just seeing some more just damage going through on both sides. Both of them being healed up, and that's something you can't heal. Instant damage going out onto both of the tanks on the side of Reboot. Sorry, Reboot Fan Club there. I almost said Reboot Convicts. That's so wrong. Botnix though, Fire Strike onto Slendy takes it out. Winter onto Dashi. Both supports are down. And that is all she wrote for that push there.
Reboot Convict, the more ambitious crossover than Godzilla and King Kong right there. But also, quickly, before we get into this next fight, Kuro, I said that they'd have to be impactful, and they absolutely were. 3 frags, lots of damage together with the defense matrix. And look at this, more impact as well, keeping G-Speed alive there. So big from Kuro, consistently being sold throughout this match.
I'm just surprised that they kept him alive in the first place, but Reboot Fan Club, they have the last laugh on that one. 5 meters left on that payload, 1.5 minutes left to go. And East Coast Convicts, they have to start all over again. They
do. This, given how far back the payload is towards the start of point C, this is very potentially final fight territory if this is a long drawn out fight here. So East Coast Convicts, they have to put in all the stops, and I like this. They're passing through guns.
Oh, it goes through! The Rhino Shield doesn't come up. Winter, Kuro, and Botnix getting a kill each. Kuro getting a double kill onto the random thing right there. We're just seeing more blood being spilled on the side of Reboot Fan Club as East Coast Convicts, they just rush through the rest of the Reboot Fan Club after that very nice shatter.
That was so, what's the word I'm looking for? Intuitive. I can't think of the word. But it was so good from Botnix, recognizing that they had the option to go completely past him and to set up camp on the payload, but they were hungry. They wanted to take that fight, and Botnix leading the charge with the Earth Shatter absolutely did that. And into this enclosed space, the Ryan games are going to be massive.
Oh, we got some more info coming in here. Nice. Absolutely. Hold on, everything's already healed up. But wait, V-Luck, you've got your own ult. They can't forget about that. Winter is taken out mid-high noon. Snow is ended on the side of the, well, what is that thing called? It's called a bridge. And Lukey Pookie finishes off Jeff Beef. Nice and easy.
Yes, I do often forget what bridges are as well. But that fight is... The turnout of that fight and its result is probably responsible to the support of East Coast Convicts there. The first big slip-up that we've seen from them tonight, Dave Pokemon and Snow were they layered the sound barrier and the immortality field respectively. If they staggered those out a bit more, they could have sustained for a little bit longer and kept them alive in that fight.
Big Bomb takes out the personal bubble of random thing and some of that shield on Deluxe, who already has his ultimate back. Are they actually going to be able to realize that, hold on, this guy has had so much to do that he's got Shatter again? Yes, they do. Down, Botnix finishes it off. Botnix actually gets a bigger Shatter than his. D-Luck, though, mine's bigger. That's a nice Fire Strike to take out Snow. We're trying to find something with that high noon, and we do get Botnix out from the end of there. Die. That's what Jeff Beef is doing there, and Dave Pokemon is potentially the last one. Nope, Winter. Hold on. No, yes, it's Snow is the last one to die in that Convict.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for East Coast Convicts. I don't even think they'll get another touch into it. No, they won't. Reboot Fan Club not wasting any time re-evening the score here, going up to 1 apiece after a solid display on Eichenwald. This series is in anyone's hands, Slayer.
Oh, dude, look. If we don't see some Volskaya, I'm gonna be sorely. I'm gonna be disappointed. As it is the Winter Snow that is gonna be picking here, the side of Reboot Fan Club.
Yeah, all the signs point to Volskaya.
Sorry, East Coast Convicts. Look, gotta be Volskaya.
Yeah,
if we don't see something else, it's gonna be a little bit of a throw on the sides of, like, you know, just looking at their names. Oh, yeah. They chose Anubis. Oh,
why would they go to the desert if they're full of snow and that? This is a throw from East Coast Convicts. They've got way too big for their boots. What is this? This is just deplorable behavior from East Coast Convicts.
I'll be honest, Anubis is probably scrimmed a lot more than Volskaya.
That's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate, but you know what? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
And it is.
Okay, this has devolved to absolute skullduggery rubbish. But it's okay.
It's good rubbish. It's good rubbish. It's entertaining rubbish.
Yeah. Well, for us at least. I hope it is for the folks at home as well. But it's okay.
Let's see. Are you having fun, guys? Come on. Let's see something in chat if you're having fun.
Yeah. Get the best outtakes from chat, please.
Oh yeah. No. We need some clips up in here.
Yeah, what is the best thing coming out of chat at the moment? That is probably the most important thing, even more important than the game at this rate. But really, this could be a pretty big turning point in the whole Division 2 landscape for AAOL here, because so far in this stage of AAOL, East Coast Krakens have never dropped more than one map in a series. They've just dropped one. If they drop another, it will be a history-making event in Division 2, and it could really ruffle a few feathers. It could really instill the confidence in both the Reboot fan club and the other teams in this division that, hey, this team isn't unbeatable. And even though Reboot fan club are also undefeated so far, they did have a really, really close 3-2 matchup in their first week of competition. So they have showed cracks in the armor early. East Coast Convicts haven't quite got stooped to that level as of yet, but Reboot Fan Club have them on the ropes, and they are doing a very good job and generating a really exciting matchup that we have seen so far today. And we are looking at the defense now. You don't want to trust the offense spawns, really, because it's just it's so easy to just change at the very last second and get my hopes up all the time. But
absolutely, look, you know, 1 second you're looking at dive, the next second you're looking at brawl, you know?
Yeah, the defense, however, is a bit more set in stone, luckily for us. And what is being teased is pretty interesting. The double bubble composition, I imagine that Lukey on the Widowmaker, while they may take an early shot at the spawn, will very likely retreat rather promptly over to one of the many high grounds that Point A of Temple of Anubis has to offer. And once they are up there, they will just have free range to fire wherever they want. And they will not be uncontested though. Winter is on a Widowmaker of their own. So that is a thrilling 1v1 that we will get to see play out on our screens tonight.
Now look, the double bubbles are already coming out, the dives, but Lukey Pookie, that's an amazing pick if you're on the side of it. Wow, I keep forgetting their names. It is East Coast Convicts.
Yeah,
so Reboot Fan Club, they swapped. They swapped.
They did.
Know, just when I got used to the East Coast Convicts on the left, they swap it around, and now it's the Reboot Fan Club.
We should start a GoFundMe to get them to swap back sides.
Absolutely, but yeah, and we should also have a GoFundMe going for Botnik's medical bill there. That did not look good.
Yeah, that was a little bit of an L.
Continuing the push forward, but that's about where they stop it, sadly. Chief Beef putting some nice pressure up. They Pokemon getting a beautiful res as well, and we're going to see what happens after that.
Yeah, Botnix is a lot further forward than the rest of the team, maybe lacking the support, but manages to use the jump pack to get out of there, and Lukey is opening up the fight once again onto Winter. Winter has not had much of a chance to live so far, recognizing that maybe this Widow 1v1 isn't the way to go, instead swapping over to the Tracer, hoping to put a little bit more pressure, maybe not onto Lukey, but onto the rest of the diving tanks. The Tracer close-up can absolutely shred a Winston.
There we go, the Nano is out onto the Monkey. He has returned to the point. Lukey Pookie gets that nice kill on a deep beef, but look at that! Reboot Fan Club are absolutely demolished
demolishing the side of East Coast Convicts, just as we thought it might have gone to the side of East Coast there. Reboot just coming back in and going, no, we don't want none of that.
They did indeed, and it was pretty solid fight all the way around. Beef was on the Genji, did actually get to contest Luki, but actually succumbed to the Venom Mine, which was a little bit unfortunate, and the rest of the fight just kind of went from there. And really interesting call by Beef to play the Echo into a Widowmaker, and now Luki has a lot of pressure on him. You cannot survive the swinging fist. This is the best chance for East Coast Convicts so far, but Deluxe is doing work of their own. That's a double Primal Rage.
Deluxe, man, he's showing why he is the main tank and not Lazy Q with that 3-man monkey ult kill. And Lazy Q, come on, trying to get some of that dignity back by getting the double kill out back into the Echo form.
I feel so bad for Snow there. Just getting double Primal Rage and just typing in chat, that was fun. And I think that about sums it up. The sarcasm radiates. It is burning holes in my retinas. I do feel very, very poor for Snow. But this is their best advancement so far. They finally got into the safety of the room, and now on the run up, they can push out, close the gap onto Deluxe. We'll have a bit more of a challenge on their hands.
Yeah, here we go. And ults out. Botnik is swinging his hammer, and Deluxe is zapping the enemies there. Winter takes out Dashi. That's a pretty big one for the side of East Coast Convicts. They're getting some absolute bangers of some kills coming out here. And another tick comes out too. Deluxe, though, he's taken out Dave Pokemon. Is that going to be the beginning of the end for East Coast Convicts? I do not think so, ladies and gentlemen. There's a second tick comes through. Kuro takes out Lazy Q. And once again, there we go. We're seeing just more kills for the side of East Coast Convicts. Overtime is down. Lukey Pookie's trying to get some more kills, but he just can't do anything, man. Wait, hold on. It's pulled back. Dashi and Random Thing have absolutely demolished what was there from East Coast Convicts. They can't touch. I thought that was over. It was over on the enemy team.
I was on the same page as you, Slayer. I thought that point A was done and dusted. I was ready to start talking about point B, but Reboot Fan Club stopped me in my tracks, and I feel a little bit bad for Lukey because they went for the Nano Blade, got slept out of it, but also because of that, there were just so many resources and so much attention invested into killing the immediate threat of Lukey that they kind of neglected the also very, very prevalent threat of Random Thing, who had that Graviton Surge online. Everyone was looking at Lukey. Random Thing just pretty sneaky from the side, chucked in the Graviton Surge, locked up those last few players, and then it is easy pickings for Random Thing and co from the side of Reboot Fan Club. And the win condition is pretty damn clear here, Slayer. If they get, 86% on the point, then it is a dub in favor of Reboot Fan Club. They will go up to 1, and they'll be on match point as well. So it is looking really good. After a bit of a slow start on Nepal, excuse me, they haven't really looked back. They have been on an absolute tear.
Hey, look, you might lose map 1, but that's not the end of the game. You gotta remember, there's 5 to play, and that's for a reason. You know?
It absolutely is. And
Anubis is out. And look at that. They only have to get to that yellow marker.
Yeah, very, very clear win condition. And the defense, really interestingly, running a the clear win condition for the defense here is they're playing for the EMP and the Nano Blade, hoping to cycle those ultimates and just win as many fights off the back of clean ultimate economy as they can. And Snow hit a really nice sweep on the top onto Lukey, went for the flank onto the supports but was unable to stay alive. Botnik's falling is also really bad. Is that resable for Dave Pokemon?
I don't think it is going to be resable there. Botnix has respawned onto the ball now. Looks like they're a little scared of what's going to happen here as we start to get some ticks, as we start to get some progress onto the point for the side of Reboot Fan Club here. But is this touch all we're going to be seeing here? I don't think so. Dave Pokemon gets stunned, but that's going to be it. Winster takes out Slendy, and Lukey Pookie takes out Dave Pokemon. Hold on, never mind. They are going to die in the end. But It just feels so weak right now, but it really isn't. Daisy Q and Deluxe takes out the high ground there. And is that going to be it? We can see for the side of the East Coast Convicts here, as Reboot just absolutely continues to roll.
Yeah, bit of a slow start. It took them a little bit to pick apart the defense and how they wanted to attack it. But at the end of the day, they had plenty of time to get that done. Reboot Fan Club, they go up 2-1 in this series. Match point is in their favor. And East Coast Convicts, they are probably shaking in their boots a little bit. They have never been in this position. They have never been facing against a match point. And here we see Lukey Pookie just sleeping while everyone in the gravel's on top of them. It doesn't matter though, they didn't need that damage randomly. Getting plenty of work done on the Zarya. Very much a standout player on point A. With the close confines of it, they were able to play so well. And now going into our final map, Slayer, we have no option of Volskaya, unfortunately. We have the toss-up between Junkertown and Watchpoint Gibraltar. Given how the brawl has been playing out so far, I think it's I don't even know, because Gibraltar is very typically a dive map, and we've seen a lot of dive, and Junkertown kind of favors the poke, in my opinion. So we could see Gibraltar. I think you kind of alluded to it earlier when picking Anubis. It will be which of these two maps, the side of East Coast Convicts has actually scrimmed more and spent more time on devising a strategy and figuring out their approach to playing the map. Because something like Junkertown is a very hectic map. It's all over the shop. So much can go down. Gibraltar is a little bit more structured, in my opinion, but can still definitely devolve into chaos more quickly than not. So it's going to be a really interesting toss-up of which map the East Coast Convicts pick here.
Hey, and absolutely, especially in the position that they're in. They can't afford to lose one. So they have to bring their A game. They have to bring what they've learnt in scrims into this one map. And they do choose Junkertown. Which again, I think is the mostly scrimmed map in this matchup here. So we're sticking to scrims. We're sticking to picking up what's being put down. And good old Australia picked straight out.
Yeah, and as I'm kind of reflecting on it, that makes a little bit of sense. But also, I'm a bit scared because Junkertown is scared for East Coast Convicts, that is. Because going into Junkertown, the main feature of it is its massive long sightlines, which is often capitalized by someone like a Widowmaker, a Hanzo, maybe even an Ashe, but definitely more those prior to. And so far this series, Lukey has had much more success on the Widowmaker than Winter has. So we're going to have to see a bit of a step up from Winter to keep East Coast Convicts alive in this series, because if Lukey continues the dominance that they've had on the hit scan tonight, it might go in favor of Reboot Fan Club, and the series could be done relatively quickly if Lukey is left unchecked.
Yeah, look, it is down to how much Lukey can do here. And how much East Coast Convicts will stop Lukey. If they do pick the Widow, they might not. You know, not picking Widow is still an option here. That is something we need to be prepared for. You know. But
true. Out of curiosity, who do you think would be picked if it wouldn't be a Widowmaker? What is your shout for the DBS heroes that could come out here?
Look, man, put me on the spotlight. Maybe. I reckon
it is a very long sightline map, so instead of that Widow, I would be thinking maybe an Ashe, maybe a Hanzo, something with the same kind of longer sight, but maybe a little bit more damage output in general.
Fair enough, I can't argue that. Damage can get a lot of work done at the end of the day, but only time can tell. We can predict and theorize as much as we want, but at the end of the day, it is the players who make the decisions, and they are the players for the reasons. We're up talking about it probably because, for me at least, I'm not nearly good enough to play. So you might be. You're kind of handsome, so you might get away with it. But for me, I am confined to the sidelines now.
Now, look, come on, playing in diamond stuff. It isn't too hard. Sorry, I started monologuing, and then it just didn't turn out to be what I was trying to say. But no, I mean I am being challenged up in those. But anyway, back to this game we're looking at now. We do need to take a minute, and the players are definitely making sure that minute is counted there. But the Widow picks came out. Jeef Beef and Lukey Pookie, the Widow duel of the century in winter. We've got a bit of a cheeky Bastion pick out of spawner.
Yeah, and it comes usually. I would see a Bastion in spawn on the offense and say, they're gonna swap. But Junkertown might be the one exception to that kind of general rule that I have, because the pirate ship has very much been a prominent feature of this map since its inception into competitive play.
Oh yeah.
So it is very possible that the Bastion is whipped out. I'm personally more excited by the propositions offered by the defense here, because they have Deluxe and Random Thing. They are on the double shield. We haven't seen that tonight, and before that, probably for a hot minute. And is that in anticipation of a Bastion? Because particularly the Sigma does a really good job of countering the Bastion, as does somewhat a Genji to an extent. So maybe they are predicting the Bastion. Maybe they have some inside sources or recent scrim experience that the Bastion is what Winter is picking. Or maybe they just find that the Winston and the Reinhardt and their off-tank partners respectively are just not really strong enough on the layout of Junkertown A, and they feel like that they have to play the double shield to prevent from all the poke that's going around. It's a really big question, and we're going to have to see how comfortable they are on a tank composition that hasn't been pulled out in a hot minute.
I hear your proposition for the Genji countering the Bastion, but what about the Genji countering the Widow? We're going to see a dive Genji coming through. He is on that, Lukey Pookie's on that right side there. Then maybe that Genji is just to maybe pick out at the Widow. But the Widow 1v1 is definitely going to be more prominent strategy here. GFB's already taken down to half HP there, and they're just getting free position on this card.
They are, and I think that this should go in favor of the side of East Coast Convicts, who are on the offense here, because they have the double hit scan. They will control so much more space than the Genji and the Widow will. They have so many more sightlines that they're controlling, and they are allowed to go so much further forward, and Botnix is doing just that.
Look, the poke is absolutely doing work against this weird dive kind of just mishmash of characters. It's not poke, it's not dive. It's a mixture of the two, and Lukey Pookie takes out Jeef Beef, but Botnix has that rebuttal there. The full stop is taken on that Widow 1v1, but only just for a little bit, as the fight just continues to be so slow going through. Trying to get something. Deluxe, though, takes out Winter with a couple headshots here and there, and it's looking more like it's going to be a sunny side up for the side of Reboot Fan Club.
Oh, excuse me. That was a defense. It happened. They didn't lose it, which is kind of cool. And I think that the cart progress, letting it get all the way to that point, is really, really smart for the defense. Because taking it any earlier, and you were just fighting so much out in the open, that it is so easy for a Widowmaker or an Ashe or even a Tracer now that is being pulled out by G-Thief to wrap around you. But if you wait until the cart is traveling in between these two buildings, you have so much cover that you could utilize along with the double shield. So it's a really smart place to take this defensive play. And as I say that, they're just backing up to the corner, which is still respectable. And this next fight is going to get going very, very quickly.
The sights are out, the ults are out. We're continuing this absolute mad craze here. Random Thing takes out the Mecha Kuro. Lazy Q finishing off some more there. Lukey Pookie, an absolutely amazing shot onto Jeef Beef, absolutely showing the DPS superiority throughout this whole game.
Yeah, they really are. They've certainly stepped up from their first map. and they really kind of showed East Coast Convicts who's boss. Lazy Q and Luki Puki have been a standout DPS duo, and someone that we should a pair that we should watch out for in the coming weeks of this tournament. And saying that Luki again is just getting the picks consistently, getting the better of these sniper 1v1s. It's so good from Luki.
Yeah, Luki is just absolutely just ruining the enemy team. We see another pick, but GP finally comes back at Luki there. Random thing taken out, Botnik. And again, it's 40 seconds left on the clock. And we've only gone to the second set of buildings.
Yeah, the card progress hasn't been super spectacular from East Coast Convicts here. But this might be their best shot at it. The Bob, as you can see, is chucked. Oh no, that's bad. A little bit past the payload. That Bob ideally would be positioned on the payload, keeping that contested going.
Oh no, but Lazy Q definitely has that Nano Blade out. He's going to be able to get some more deaths out of there. There it tries to get some more, but again, it's just going back to this back and forth of like, we have no idea who's going to win. GP though, uh-oh, he's taken out. Random thing doing absolutely massive damage there, but is it going to be enough to keep this in overtime and maybe even a win? We're just going to have to stick around and find out, ladies and gentlemen. Deluxe is trying their best to have some point coverage here. Kuro, though, getting out of position and absolutely does pay for that. The overtime, 3 meters, 2 meters, it is contested again. Dashi taking out Kuro, but it's not going to be enough. Winter takes out Dashi in the end. Luki Puki in the Winter, it's just going back and forth, but in the end, East Coast Convicts, sorry, they get the last laugh. And they finally push past point 1.
That was a tough battle, but eventually it does happen. And I think, particularly East Coast Convicts, they'll be letting out a little sigh of relief here. The Luki Puki dominance on the Widow is hindered not by their play, but just because of how the map is laid out here. The sightlines are so much less extreme that it is a lot easier to actually challenge the Widowmaker. And in saying that, Luki is opted to the more close range Ash, opting instead to get the dynamite value instead of just the raw headshot damage. And the wraparound, they're coming up. The raw is going in there.
Speed of sound. The Reinhardt's got places to go. That the Kuro takes out Lazy Q right at that end part there. It's almost like East Coast Krakens are just ignoring everything there. But hold on. Reboot Fan Club, they're finally going to be able to contest point 2 for the first time. But is it going to last as the blade comes out? It can! Slendy gets that melee kill. The Zen trick. The Zen pulling out some tricks that the old teacher didn't tell the little Genji there.
Yeah, a bit of a pretty solid display of mechanic there from Slendy. That is what these Zenyatta players at this level need to be doing consistently. They need to be able to fend for themselves because they don't have the luxury of a sleep dart like an Ana or a fade like a Moira. They just need to do it with raw damage, and Slendy just then did just that.
45 seconds on the clock. The Lucio went absolutely sky high there. The beat is already done. The bomb almost patches. The Luki Puki takes out Kuro. That Shatter comes out as well. Lazy Q on that blade grind gets another one before it ends off. The Bubba's slept. 20 seconds left on the clock. There is only one chance to hold, to push this second point. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 10 seconds are quickly approaching.
Yeah, the big question is who's going to touch? Usually I'd say Dave Pokemon, but they mightn't have the best run of it. It is the Diva of Kuro making their way underneath the buildings to get a contest, and now the fight is underway, but the Diva is already out of mech.
Now, the touch comes out, but the mech is to be thrown away at the same time. Snow takes out Deluxe. This is looking very good for the East Coast Convicts here. But that, oh, he gets immediately just reflected right back into Luki. Winter takes out Slendy, and there isn't many more people left alive on the side of Reboot Fan Club. It's only the 2 people, and they just can't find it. East Coast Convicts they take second point again at the last second.
Yeah, a lot of people in the community at the moment would be calling what we are seeing from East Coast Convicts as a display of them being an overtime team, and I think that that's pretty well reasoned. But I don't think it's just because they finally have to engage. I think it's because they are taking their time to build up the ultimates that they have to use. Each time after a fight, they've always used some time of ultimates to get into their position, and also in the nature of overtime, you have to commit, and people usually go a little bit more aggressive than they might normally do. Lazy Q out very early with the blade.
Another blade comes out, but Lazy Q is immediately just slammed into the wall there. Kuro and Jeep Beef continuing on the slaughter. Lukey Pookie takes out Snow, and that's going to be the only frag that Reboot Fan Club has with grabs there.
Yeah, Lazy Q not having the best of time there. Maybe out of spite, swapping over to the Tracer instead of the Genji. And going into this last fight, I was talking about ultimates for East Coast Convicts. They have 6 of them at the moment. Random thing out of the way. As soon as they eliminate these minefields, it will be free game for war. 6 ultimates are going to be so impactful in this enclosed space in point C. Will Reboot Fan Club even be able to put up a fight here?
That's what we hope. We like for the best games here at AAOL. The ult comes out, it gets caught on the wall, sadly, so it doesn't really get much done, but Botnix takes out Ana! Both the supports on the side of Reboot Fan Club are down, and East Coast Convicts, they finish off the round.
Yeah, they finish it off in overtime, but the crucial thing is they have all 3 points on the board. There will not be a winner decided of this offensive round for Reboot Fan Club. We will have to go the distance, or there could be a winner. Reboot Fan Club, there is no way that they can capture to win the map. They will have to play a second set of rounds on Junkertown if they want to avoid the dreaded map 5. And in saying that, it's the complete opposite, of course, for East Coast Convicts. If they can hold them to not a full capture, they will go to map 5. They'll be going back to control. And really crucially for everyone at home, if you cast your minds all the way back to the start of the series, that is where East Coast Convicts actually won their map. They won it on control on Nepal. Is that a theme that would continue? That would be a scary thought for anyone supporting the boys over at Reboot Fan Club. So it's getting pretty hectic. A lot is lying on this map, and it is still anyone's game. And we talked about the Bastion on the offense, but this time we're seeing it on the defense. And I'm lowering my voice because everyone's getting a little bit stealthy. The Ryan is crouching, the Diva is crouching, the Bastion is as well. The Mercy isn't taking the liberty. But they are hiding right in the corner, hoping to catch the side of Reboot Fan Club with their trousers around their ankles. And they might just be able to do that. You don't often expect the Bastion just kind of chilling in the corner, and damage boosted by Dave Pokemon, they will do so much damage.
Here we see the East Coast Krakens and their convicts in their natural habitat, a corner. Bastion finally setting up though. Putting some damage into the cart, but really just can't find anything else there. Sorry, I got the hiccups now. But right back into that corner he goes. Jeep Beef is just going straight back every time. He's trying to get something out there, but hold on, you can't run away from a Bastion, especially if he heads back towards the point there. They're gonna have to face this Bastion at some point.
And now we're seeing a pretty similar situation to what we saw on the point A offense for East Coast Convicts. The defense is hoping to hold in between these two buildings, utilize the corners, utilize the cover it provides, and they're doing just that. The Bastion is set up a little bit too close for comfort. Maybe they're about to be under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, the barrier's down, but it doesn't stop Jeep Beef taking down a Lazy Q there. Trying to get even more damage out, but can he do it? Is there going to be the angles? Are they going to allow him to have the angles? I hope not, because Lukey Pookie just took out Dave Pokemon. The ult comes out, the another goes as well. Jeep Beef, you're so low. He does get taken out in the end. Everyone's on 1 HP here, ladies and gentlemen. Jeep Beef, Butnick, Snow, they're gone. Kuro, Winter, damn, the job is done.
The one downside of waiting so late in point A to contest that is that when you're holding all the way back where they were, the flank, the wide flank around the left side from the offensive perspective for Lukey is wide open on that Widowmaker. And we know Lukey, we know that they will land that shot every day of the week. J Pokemon going to heal the Ryan, trying to retreat back to the safety of their team, getting their head ripped off of their shoulders by a clean shot from the Widow's Kiss from Luki Puki. Wonderful use of the flanks again. We have seen both of these teams have such wonderful execution of these flank plays, and they are nearly always getting value. That is what we love to see. But going into this next fight, Deluxe and the Supercharger will be really, really impactful. Lazy Q might be able to get a lot of work done with that, when assisted by the Supercharger with that extra damage. But the big question is on Slendy. When do they use this Transcendence?
The Shatter comes out, doesn't really catch anyone though. The Shatter bomb doesn't really come to fruition there. Botnix though stops Lazy Q's ultimate yet again. But Luki Puki doing some absolute work in that line there. Winter being taken out, GP's getting some getting a little sick there before he falls as well. Luki Puki, that Toxin catches up to you. Deluxe takes out Botnik and the Diva Mech Bakuro there. The stagger's out. They're going to be continuing the stagger. It's just looking worse and worse. The two supports are up. There's one gone. Bob comes out though. Random thing is gone. Hold on. Is the Bob going to carry this back? Lazy Q takes out GP. Winter again, another frag. This got turned around by a Bob.
It did. The Bob on the payload is so much damage that you have to deal through. It's 100 HP of big metal muscly Butler, and it did the job. And now I really want to highlight the ultimate charge of Slendy and G-Thief. They're having a bit of a race to those ultimates, and if G-Thief gets there early, it will only be the Immortality Field that can defend them from the wrath of the Dragon Blade. So that will be a very close race to get that ultimate charge as quickly as possible. These players will be peaking a bit more aggressively to try and get that extra bit of ultimate charge to win that mini race upon what is going on in the grander scheme of things. And also really crucially, Random Thing with the lift online, the Gravitic Flux, hoping to pop that soon, but the question is, who will they go for? The tanks are both so mobile, it'll be really hard to lock someone down for long enough to get value out of that ultimate.
The universe sings for the for Random Thing right now. Luki Puki as well, getting some nice fresh kills on the side there. But as we all know, everything comes to a sad little end, and the hold that Reboot Fan Club had up, the hold that East Coast Convicts had up has to end at some point, but it's not gonna end yet. The Lazy Q's blade is out. He's going to be able to actually kill some people today. Yes, he is, along with Luki Puki as well. He's just doing absolute work into the enemy team with that Orisa ult as well. The Bongo just melting through whatever East Coast Convicts had in store for them. 3 minutes on the clock to push this far? Yes, please.
Luki Puki has been so dirty on this flank. I'm going to harp on about it time and time again, but it's because it's what is winning them these fights. But you cannot give all the credit to Luki. Of course, the tanks at the front line have to absorb enough attention to let Luki get away with that flank maneuver in the first place. So props all around. It is a team play. Luki gets all the credit and the glory for popping up on the left side of the kill feed.
Lazy Q definitely showing some Genji disbelievers what is up. The Genji one tricks can definitely work here. It's even in all the way up in Div 2. You know? I'm not saying you should pick Genji. I'm just saying it can work. You just gotta be good at them.
Just be good. Why didn't I think of that? I could be playing if I thought to just be good. God, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, just hit your shots, man. It's not that hard. And neither is that kill that Random Thing got onto Botnix. Lazy Q, that nice, fresh little slice into GP with the Genji dip coming out. Random Thing, Lazy Q still doing work, and 2 minutes 45 is what we have left on the clock, with only a minute left for the East Coast Convicts, who did sadly struggle point one quite a lot.
Yeah, I think really interestingly, Lazy Q on the Genji has been getting a lot more successful. They've just been running the vanilla Genji. They have had some dumb luck on the when they have actually popped the blade. They've been charged by by Botnix about 3 times this series, but on the Reinhardt is getting the blade shut down before it even really starts. And Don't know if chat is on for the viewers at home, but LaserQ was not at all happy about that one beforehand. But they need to get past that because they are obviously a very, very talented Genji player. But as soon as that mental starts to crack, you start playing with your anger, then you just don't do as well, and that will cost the rest of the team a monstrous amount as well. Because at the end of the day, Overwatch is a team game. If one player is not quite there, everyone feels the impact of it. And playing
with anger is just playing not in the right headspace, and you start making dumb mistakes. And the problem with making dumb mistakes is it gets you even more tilted. Everybody who's had that just knows. Every time you make a dumb mistake, it's, I could have done better.
It is such a tough cycle to break. And luckily for most of us peasants who are not playing in AAOL, we have the luxury of just getting off, saying that was my last ranked game for the day, that was my last map. But these guys, they have to keep on going. They don't have that luxury. They need to continue because it is competition, and that is how these people roll. On the defense, LaserQ is on the Genji. Crucially, Luki instead opting for the Hanzo, but still just so freaky on these DPS, consistently getting value no matter the hero.
30 seconds are left on the clock, and East Coast Convicts aren't looking very healthy there. Half health for the Divas there, and only 20% of that ultimate is up online. While you've got at least 25 for everyone else on the side of the Reboot fan club there. East Coast Convicts, you're going to need to pull something out, and it's got to be quick. 10 seconds are left on the clock. East Coast Convicts versus Reboot fan club. Reboot fan club getting that first pick. It's very important there. Deluxe getting out to Pokemon. Everyone is so low on the side of East Coast Convicts. You know, while Reboot fan club, they're all looking super healthy. Snow on 1 HP. Kuro's finally taken out. They've only got 3 heroes. They've only got 3 people left on the cart here, while the rest of the whole of Reboot fan club is still up and alive. There goes the overtime. There it is. It's gone.
It is. And Slayer, we have a very, very clear win condition for Reboot Fan Club here. They need to get just over 57 meters. And is it 100 meters? 57 meters. They need to get over that. And they will be the victors of this series. They will be the only undefeated team left in Division 2 of AAOL, presented by AOE. So it is all on the line here. East Coast Convicts are going to have to pull off some defense to make this happen. And the question is, do they go with something that they're comfortable with, that they feel like they're going to get the most success out of, or do they just do something, chuck caution to the wind and play something a little bit unorthodox that may take a lot of time to crack? They only have 2 minutes and 45. They don't have the luxury of a full 4 minutes, Reboot Fan Club do. So if they have to take a long time to crack the defense and figure out how they want to approach it, that might just be enough.
Yeah, and look, it's all they need to do. They just need to push past this choke point that both teams have been very well held at, may I mention as well. Both teams aren't struggling to hold this area. You know, it all feels like a bit of a roll up until that one point. You know, if you play this map enough, you always get stuck between these little buildings here.
Yeah, and really crucially on the defense. Yeah, we have the May. I just wanted to talk about that. Being able to isolate people on the cart between the 2 buildings could actually be a massive play. If Winter can consistently get values out of these walls, it might be just what East Coast Convicts need. But they also have to worry about Luki is on the Hanzo. They've been a force on them all night long. I don't imagine this would be any different, Slayer.
Well, look, East Coast Convicts just need to keep their cool here. The cart is approaching its destination, but this is where they want to be. The D-Luck, though, is making it very hard for Chief Beef there, immediately being taken out, and Dave Pokemon, you might have that res out, but Luke Pookie has something to tell you, and it's an arrow straight to your ear. Dashy as well, taking out Winter there. It's looking really bad for East Coast Convicts, especially with their dragons out. Random Thing takes out Botnick's Luke Pookie onto the Chief Beef. We're just looking right at the end here, ladies and gentlemen. Lazy Q gets the final kill onto Kuro, and that... Woo! That is the 3rd win for Reboot Fan Club.
What a series, what a map, what a performance from all of these players tonight. And of course, it will be Lukey Pookie and co hailing from Reboot Fan Club who will get the glory of leaving with the W against their column in the spreadsheet. And Lukey Pookie, an absolute force. But before we get on to anything else tonight, I want to talk about that last fight very, very quickly. It was all won, as it always seems to be, by Lukey Pookie on the flank. Lukey, I should say, on the flank. Wrapped all the way around that building. They had the rest of their team was on the payload pushing it traditionally, and while Lukey and the Sigma wrapped all the way around, that was random thing on the Sigma, and they were just corralled into the building off of the payload. Lukey getting the final blow with the dragon, and they're corralling them so nicely to get the value out of that ultimate ability, and that is a victory in the column for Reboot Fan Club. East Coast Convicts suffer their first defeat, of this stage of AAOL.
Yeah, dude. East Coast Convicts, hats off to you guys. You tried your best. But Reboot Fan Club, as the chat predicted, took that dub. And they are the under. Yeah, chat predicted it. The prediction right at the start. Congratulations, chat. At the start, I was like, maybe you guys shouldn't have gone off of map 1 for your predictions, yeah? But no, definitely. Like, there's got to be some insider information, man. Look at that. It was a 10,000 points to 5,000 point difference, you know? It's too good.
It really is. That was a thrilling match. But luckily for us, maybe not so luckily for my voice box, that is not all that we have in store for everyone at home tonight. We do have our second game of the day, which is Ace Kings versus Koalas Esports Odyssey, hailing from Division 4. We will get to that in a little bit, but it will have to be on the other side of this short break. Hey, howdy y'all. We've returned from our short break after a wonderful display from East Coast Convicts and Freedom Reboot fan club, whatever it was, Reboot fan club. They got the 3-1 victory there, and now we get to go into our second match of the night, which we are being blessed with Kings, hailing from Ace Esports, and Odyssey, hailing from Koalas Esports.
Yeah, look, dude, I'm having a look at these matchups, and yeah, boss, it's gonna be another close one. I'm calling it here, another close one. That's it.
Well, going against a few of the people in chat there, that is all good. It's going to be a pretty good roster. Both of these teams have lost before, so there's no undefeated streak to be kept alive. But so far, Maka and Co over at Koalas Esports Odyssey, they have gone up 2-1. So they're 2-1 at the moment. Literally Dead and Co from Kings are sitting at 1 AP, so hoping to get that positive record back into their favor so they can continue their campaign in Season 12, Stage 2 of AAOL presented by AOE.
Yeah, look, it's about that win-loss cash money, baby. You know, we've got a few people who are, like, you know, like, a good half of each roster is new to AOE. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what? I prefer seeing new people around, you know? It feels more rewarding.
It's always fun to see new people, but it's also great to see the old hands come back, get to see them do their work. The player that stands out for me is I've seen Purple a bunch of times. Bit of a freak. I also remember Bubbles, I believe, playing, when I was watching them, playing a lot of May on Eichenwald. Eichenwald is in the pool, so we might see Eichenwald, the May come back out from Bubbles. And I also got into a match with Rugen the other night in Ranked. So that was kind of fun.
I could not hear anything there. I accidentally unmuted the AOE stream I have open to see chat. But what did you say? I'm sorry.
I was just talking about the players, a few of them going around. I know Bubbles and Purple are pretty ridiculous. I saw Sabertooth in chat earlier as well.
Yeah.
Pretty confident.
Shout out Sabertooth.
Yeah, and I've also been informed that I must tell the viewers that Gat ints on the Lucio. So that's a bit unfortunate. I'm sure that you'll play very well, Gat, and very responsibly. Definitely not feed your brains out.
Look, Feedy Lucio, there's fun in that, but you know what's more fun? Winning the game of AOE. And that's why we're all here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got, on the side of KE Odyssey, we have the tank lineup being Maka and Curry. Ryujin and Bubbles following up with that small amount of damage with their big damage. And Marlo and Gemini, they're both on that healing grind. Well, Nikki, you know who's on Kings, aren't you?
Yeah, so apologies for that. Marlo will be playing as May tonight. May is on the supports. I've seen them a bunch of times. Always consistent, always good. Love to see it. On the side of Kings, we have Literally Dead and Embo with lots of HP. We have Purple and Sabertooth on the Pew 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 guys. And we have Shinomi and Gat rounding up on the healers. And right off the bat, I'm looking at the lobby at the moment. I don't know if stream can see the lobby, but these players are in sync. They each team have the same profile thing and everything. They are confident. Absolutely. They are synergy, getting every last inch of that before heading into this match.
Look at that. It even fits the names, dude. Look at that. You've got the crowns for the Kings, and you've got the black hole horizon for the Odyssey. It is so well done. I love it.
We do love to see it. And hey, look at this. We're back to Nepal. We have been there once tonight, and we have returned for session 2. Of course, we have Kings coming up against Odyssey. It will be a very, very exciting match. And I'm going to quickly check what chat is saying about predictions.
Let's see that. The predictions are coming in, and Odyssey is coming out on top just a little bit faster than Kings is. About 1,000
ish, give or take, you know, points between the two. But chat, you can definitely make that gap a little closer, you know. You know, it is looking more like it is looking more in the favor of Odyssey right now. But let's see some king shit coming in.
We will hopefully,
After
but
this
not
pause.
yet. No, slow down at the final hurdle. We have a few technical difficulties, excuse me. But that is okay, it happens. PCs are always a wonderful way to get angry because you cannot understand what is wrong with it.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna be honest, chat. 4K on the Kings. Boom. 4,000 points on the Kings. Easy done.
Oh, big plays. That would have evened up the Preds massively. I'm not gonna predict because as a caster, I am unbiased in this situation, and I am also very, very good.
I mean, if you put 4K onto Odyssey, then we're even, right?
Oh, you got me there, actually. Fucking well played. Or something, I don't know.
Easy done, boys. We scamasing them out of that coin. Alright, but the game has started. We're gonna see some more. And oh boy, are we gonna see a nice quick start with literally dead. Still not on spawn, actually.
Yeah.
Might actually have to do a bit of a restart of this lobby. There's literally dead. Literally can't get in, and is literally stagnating in death.
I believe, Slayer, this is what we in the industry call a bruh moment.
Ah, no, I call this a scuffed OCE lobby. That's what I
We
call it.
are waiting on the pause here, and yeah, we're just going to reset the lobby. That's all good. Things happen. The video gaming doesn't always go the way of the video gaming, and I should have taken a bit better note of the compositions that were being pulled out there so we had something to talk about. But from memory, both teams had McCree, and there's also a May on the field. I believe the May was coming out from Bubbles. So back to that character that I at least know them for. So that is really exciting to see. I also am pretty sure there's at least a Reinhardt on the field and a Diva as well. Diva, just a real mainstay, just all-round great character, can fit into a lot of compositions, and chat in the lobby at least is getting very, very wild. Hopefully it's the same on the Twitch stream.
Look, that 4K on the Kings is looking a little rusty.
Oh my god.
One DC already, boss. Nah. This is only a hiccup in the grand scheme. We're going back stronger, dude. Come on, Ace comes in. Ace comes in clutch.
Oh wow. I made a bad play and sent the link to the stream to some of my boys at home, and they may or may not have just got themselves banned from chat, which is a bit better whenever I've seen one.
Nah, that is a feels bad moment.
That's a little bit funny.
That's good fun. That's good fun. But anyway, still sitting in here. Casters.
When it's like whittle enough. How do you pass time when like the main time when I'm passing time, Slayer, is when I'm in a car and I'm not driving. Is what are you? Are you a twiddle your thumbs kind of guy? Are you the count the cars kind of guy, or do you have like the little parkour guy running along beside you?
Oh, that one, dude. Oh, okay. I've got to be honest with you. I am a sucker for the horizon. I love watching the horizon. I especially when it's like daybreak or
well, like sunset, right?
Or sunset, yeah. Like especially then because especially like all right. I get up early every morning. I work as a barista. I make coffee. I've got to be up before everyone else so I can serve them coffee when they get to work. Makes sense. Respectable. So, when I'm on my way to work, I always see the best, like, sunrises all the time, dude. Like, you get to see all of those oranges and the reds coming through the sky. Sometimes it looks really, like, scary. to a point. It's like, holy shit, is the world ending or something? But no. The world is just waking up and getting started to buy my coffee. Yeah.
I'm just fully immersed in the jokes that are being chucked around in chat. There have been a few bangers. Let me read them out to you.
Let's go.
Favorite is, why can't Ryan run a store? It's because he charges too much. That was a good one. Where's the other one? Why is May so good at parties? It's because she's really good at breaking the ice. And how does Zenyatta communicate with their team? Discord. A few knee slappers coming out there. Wait. Oh god, Twitch chat is an amazing place. I do love to see it. This is pretty epic. We're just waiting. And lovely. Wait, I'm just looking at your picture on Stream Slayer. First off, very, very handsome. But secondly,
thanks.
Why do you have a Christmas tree up in March? Or is it April? It's April.
All right. One that isn't a Christmas tree. That is like you know those plants that grow on the side of the wall.
Yeah.
It's one of those. You know, it's got some plants growing on the wall. And two, this was back in like January kind of area. So this isn't the most recent, but it's the one I use a lot because you know what? Damn, I look good.
Hey, you looking like a handsome as my man.
Thanks,
as well, as opposed to my 144p donut picture that I have. It's a bit of a...
Nah, that's alright. Is that on a bus?
It is on a bus.
I knew it from that emergency sign, dude. Hate public transport.
I got to like break one of the windows on a bus.
Oh, really? Did you?
No, I was asking you if you had.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. I thought you said I actually did. No, sadly, not on a bus.
Oh, but you have somewhere else?
But I have a part of safety training at school. Like, when I was back at school, I was a part of VCAL. Anyone from Victoria knows what that is. Shout out to you guys.
I'm not even from there. I know what it is.
All my homies love VCAL.
Comedians talking about it.
Oh, that's good. But what was I saying? That's right. So we had a bit of a escaping kind of like safety kind of course, and a part of that course was learning how to use those hammers.
Oh, that's kind of
how do you learn to use those hammers without getting to get physically hands-on with a sheet of glass and a hammer? Dude, that glass fell into shattered tiny little pieces so quickly. It's the thing, like the glass that it says emergency exit on it is the only sheet of glass, the only sheets of glass that are designed to break like that. Not into tiny little pieces, sorry, but they're designed to break into like big shards.
Yeah.
So like you don't actually hurt yourself and get glass in your eyes or anything like that.
Respectable.
It's a safety thing. It's a safety thing, but it's designed to break upon that kind of a sharp impact.
Yeah.
You know? So it's cool. It's really cool. It's very satisfying as well. But yeah, like I want to hear what you guys have done that like not a lot of people have been able to do. Like Nick.
Yeah,
have you been able to do something like that?
The closest thing I've had is, you know, on airplanes where they're like, they want you to sit in this spot, and in the unlikely event of a crash, you have to open the door.
Yep.
I sat in there once, and I felt so awful, because, for those who do not know, I am not exactly a tall bean. I am a little bit small. So it's the one good thing about being short, is I do not have to worry about leg room on economy flights.
Oh, yeah.
Chilling in there. I'm in there snug as can be, no issues whatsoever. and I was there with like a monstrous amount of leg room. I could put my legs out like straight, and there was this massive 6-foot guy. I'm sure he played basketball, and he was just down the aisle across from me, sitting in the, like cramped up, and I felt so bad.
You get the extra leg room while this man's over there.
I wanted to give it to him.
Yeah, well, they would have just picked someone else random, you know. I don't know. But
pretty whack.
Know, it is pretty whack. What else have I done that's cool? Chat, what have you done that's cool?
Have you ever done a backflip?
Have I ever done a backflip on a trampoline? Yeah.
Yeah, Pog.
I learned how to do flips on the trampoline. That's about it. I can't do one on the ground. I want to learn how to do it, but I don't want to hurt my neck. I
respect that. I reckon I could have in my prime done a backflip flat, but my mental game was boomed. I just didn't have it to actually pull it off.
I get you.
Practicing like off like small drops, I reckon I had it comfortably. But
yeah.
I also have the approximate athletic capabilities of your sunglasses that you're wearing, so it's a bit tough.
Too easy, nah. I've been getting on that healthy grind recently. Sheesh. I started off real easy, you know, just getting into like something that has a better meaning, a further meaning than just get fit, eat healthy.
Yeah.
Karate. Get that self-defense grind as well.
Boys and girls, I don't want to alarm anyone, but it looks like we have fixed the technical issues. We have a substitute in the lobby. I think we are almost HOTTOGO hot to go, maybe?
Hot to go, potentially. The room is starting to burn up. I can feel it, chat. I can feel it. The game is raring to go. My PC, you know, it's starting to get a little, you know...
Mine
not really, or else that would be a worry. But we are entering the game, and that's what matters.
Yeah, this is very cash money. We are back on Nepal. We have Aether coming in on the main tank for the side of Ace Kings. It sounds like we're playing handball, Ace Kings. I was never an Ace Kings kind of guy in handball. I was always Kings, Queens, Jacks, Duns. But that's just me.
Blood's Extreme went back up to an hour. That's funny. But what's more funny is the fact that we are seeing the same, almost exactly the same from both teams coming out here. We've just got a change up of a Farah, no, maybe a Farah after this TP out with no mercy.
Yeah, I'm pretty doubtful of the Farah pick personally. I think they'll swap over to something like a Reaper perhaps. Or a McCree or a Tracer, or they could also stay on the Symmetra. They are going to the McCree instead, so the McCree will be late to the fight, but everyone else is there super early. Aether, the substitute, last minute call up to them is on the Rhine. How will this affect the shot calling of their team?
Hopefully not too badly. Let's see what happens though. Rhine is pretty important to be able to have that shot calling ability. The sleep comes out onto the Rhine of Odyssey there. No, that's not KE Odyssey, that is Ace Kings. I am lost, dude. But we do know that we have some bat bolts coming out, and Curry takes out Gat, and Bubbles is just cleaning up the fight, sweeping the side of Ace Kings off that point.
Yeah, so good on the May, just as I remember. We do love to see it, but that isn't all negatives for the side of Ace Kings. They have a lot of ultimates going into the next fight. A very, very quick Graviton Surge charge for Enbo. Look at this, they're up on the high ground. Will they expect it? Aether caught their trousers around their ankles out of that fight so quickly.
Oh, look at that. But again, it's looking pretty much exactly the same here. Odyssey is up that man.
And Kings, they have to back up yet again.
Yeah, Aether getting taken out early is so unfortunate for them. They just didn't check the corners, and as soon as you're down the Reinhardt, you're essentially down the fight.
Yeah, but that Reinhardt shatter is bigger for the side of the Kings there. Sabertooth finishing off the fight there. Shinomi, though, that insane Discord orb gets that team kill and the white back off of point. My guys are starting to catch some percentages up in here.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked Aether as being a sub in this roster based off that performance. That was an absolutely monstrous slam. Baited out the slam from the opponent. Maka just didn't let it phase them at all. Calculated, hit it, nail on the head. Beautiful work from the two Reinhardts. And this fight is going to be very, very interesting. But Bubbles has a slight advantage on the Mail. If they get the Mail off early, they might have a bit more luck.
The high noon from behind, they do get the block off though. Ryujin does get Shinomi. That's a big pick for the side of Odyssey. And including those extra two they get apart from that. Purple gets the one kill onto Bubbles, but that's going to be about it. Ace Kings, get your shit together.
Yeah, that's a little bit unlucky if you were the side of Ace Kings. But luckily for them, even though the Graviton Surge and the Earth Shadow were invested, the Mei Ultimate is still online along with the Sound Barrier. And since the Mei Ultimate is now out of the picture for the foreseeable future, GAT has a very clear timing for when the Sound Barrier has to be used in mind. It will be used to counter the Graviton Surge of Curry. So, very clear goal for GAT, eliminating any confusion, and Purple will go...
The shadow into the shield, it's a classic maneuver! The wall goes up, and the Mei ult for the side of Kings goes out as well. Kings are just wiping up the rest of this fight, with Aether almost getting another ult here. Purple and GAT, the only ones that are a little bit low on percentage here, as the rest of the team, they're pretty set for next fight, getting their ult.
Yeah, that fight, Sabertooth actually did their best Lukey impression, going all the way around the outside on the McCree. Big flank, getting the early picks. The Mail was just icing on the cake, really. It could be argued that you didn't even need the Mail from Purple there to secure the fight, but it's happened, so it is all over. GAT is positioned very far forward, hoping to boot people off the high ground, but better not be caught out by the crowd control. Escapes by the skin of their teeth. Close call. That was a pretty high-risk, low-reward play there from GAT.
Absolutely. Look, but did get out with his life, and that's reward enough. Ryujin, though, doesn't let Enbao get out of that situation. Aether, what a nice fire strike into the shatter as well. We continue on that roll. Bubbles, what are you going to do with that ultimate? Ryujin, are you going to be able to get more kills? Yes, you are. Ryujin takes out Shinomi. This is going to be a little bit unprecedented with that amount of sass coming from Purple right into Ryujin's body there. The wall off does come through. Lucio is in a little bit of a pickle there, but Curry takes out Purple and GAT. Mei taking out the Aether man there, and it's starting to turn around. Odyssey is just starting to wipe the floor with King's bodies. And there it is. The overtime is back into favor for Odyssey, and a nice high noon is out. Doesn't grab anyone. GAT tries to get some more percentage up, but it is over. We've got some more taps here from Purple, but are they going to be able to get something so that their team can thrive once again? No, they cannot. Odyssey secures the point.
They do. Good display from them. A few lackluster ultimate usage, particularly from Bubbles there, unfortunately, on the Mei, but I'm sure that will be cleaned up in no time. And now, as we venture over to this next stage of Nepal, the Mei will be even more prevalent, I think. I mentioned it in our first playthrough of Nepal tonight in our Division 2 game earlier on. The Mei was very, very impactful because it will be a race to the point. Whichever team sets up on the point and gets control of it first, they will control who actually is able to participate in the fight by isolating people with the Mei wall. And from the looks of it, it will be the side of Kings getting there first. but they're using the teleporter to go to the high ground. Both teams are opting for the high ground instead of opting to wall off on the choke. Big wall out.
Oh, that's a huge wall. The McCree's taken out of the evaluation here. But Curry doesn't mind that at all. Purple and Aether are taken down by the side of Odyssey there, and it just continues to steamroll through. It's just chugging through the point. High ground is taken. The point currently also being taken, and Kings grabbing themselves back into one piece.
Yeah, Kings is going to have to try and recapture this point here, but you raise a very big question, Slayer, and that is how many chuggers go before a choo-choo? Because that is really the things that's keeping me up at night, but it doesn't seem to be affecting Maka at all. So much work done with the hammer.
Absolutely. Look, it's just the health bars for Kings just keeps going further and further down, and so does my points in the AoE stream. But Bubbles takes out Sabretooth, and that marks the end of that fight.
They won that fight using no ultimates. It was entirely off of the back of Bubbles' May wall, just pushing everyone in between a wall and a wall place, essentially. And it was just allowed Maka to just stampede through, hitting everyone with that hammer all at once. The Fire Strike comes out, doesn't quite catch anyone. That double damage Fire Strike could have taken out a Squishies if it landed.
The Shatter down, and so are both of the teams. Oh! But also that wall takes them down as well. Aether, Shinomi, Sabretooth, back to the Aether again. They're just taking names and then absolutely destroying their health bars. Purple finishing that off with a nice, clean team kill.
That was just a casual 6-man slam from Aether. Not much, only 6. What a monstrous play! The only reason that the side of Koala's Esports Odyssey didn't die sooner is because the immortality field from Geminex was still up. But at the end of the day, that stun prolonged on all the team members is so good. We have a little juke. They teased up top, but instead go main, and both teams are trying to get the point, and the May will start out early.
The May comes out with that big ult, trying to get something down from Geminex, sorry, does fall in that short time. The point is trying to be captured by Odyssey here, but there's just way too many of the Kings alive for you to try and do that kind of stuff. Shinomi and Enbao definitely showing who's boss.
They are. I love that. That was such a frantic realization from Kings there, because they were expecting the fight to happen top, and then once they realized they were rotating point, they were like, zoink, Scoob, I need to get there. Our team needs to get there before they do, or this is a lost cause. And luckily
the shatter again, dude! We just keep getting these shatters off.
It's pretty filthy. One man isn't as cool as the 6-man as we saw before, but luckily for them, just as impactful. They have to wait for the slow McCree to get all the way back. Is being taxied by May, who is on the Lucio. And now going into this next fight, it's a similar thing. Both teams are setting up on the point, but decisively this time, Kings are there first.
There we go, May, the Bubbles on the May this time. Gets that ult down, another High Noon out. We're trying to get so many ults out at one time. It is just not looking well for Kings at all. While the Odyssey are just on either side of the rest of Kings. 50% is down on the clock with a 99, but the Shadow's out again! It's massive, but you don't have the players behind you, Aether. Look what you've done. Throwing the Shadow away. And for what?
I got a little bit excited. I thought that might have been the turnaround of the century, but unfortunately not. That fight was won well and truly by Bubbles, the Maywall, crucially isolating Shinomi on the Baptiste. It means it was just Gat left there when they were caught up in the Graviton Surge. The beat was not enough to keep them alive through that engagement. Now going into this next fight, Shinomi cannot get isolated.
The Shadow comes out, but it's immediately blocked. Gat, Maka, you just can't get any of those out. While the rest of the enemy team, being Odyssey, is just frozen in place, just waiting to die. And for that 99% to be rocked back over, the overtime is active. Can we get anyone to touch this? No, we cannot. Maka tries their best, but it doesn't happen.
It doesn't quite come to anything. And that first round is, it isn't even the first round, excuse me. It is evened up. It is one apiece between these two teams. Ace Kings and Koala's Esports Odyssey, they are even Stevens right now, heading into our third round. What to expect, but more Reinhardt. Like, the Reinhardt has been so good for both these teams. Aether and Maka have been having a blast. They've been getting the Earth Shatters so quickly. The support from the team has been there, and it has been not one-sided at all so far. It is still anyone's game. Nepal is on the line. A chance to go up 1-0 early on in this first of 3 series is at the stakes here on Nepal.
Yeah, look at that. The Kings have taken it to the third map. That first map, all we needed to do was get Aether into that comm structure that the rest of Kings is so used to. Now that Aether's in it, to win it, we might see some more Kings win. And there we go. The Ace is pulled up huge and getting that Imlots, but both Imlots down and out. Gat gets a nice kill onto Maka. Sabertooth getting that Reaper kill, trying to be a little bit sneaky, but just doesn't get it. Sabertooth again out McCreeing Ryujin there. And there it is. That's the fight.
That was a really methodical fight for Kings there. They rotated all the way around the outside. They understood that they didn't want to take the fight so much head on, and they wanted to stay in the small corridors as much as they possibly could, and they did just that. And at the end of it, Sabertooth was able to get around the shields, do a bunch of damage to clean up those final eliminations, and it went their way. This is very similar to what we saw in our first round, and that is a slam and a half.
Oh, the massive slams again. It just keeps happening. Look, all these slams, there might be 1 or 2 in the mix of the hundreds of slams that are just massive, and they cannot get any bigger than the 6-man we saw before, and another one to show up. Aether, you are just main tank differencing Maka. This is an upset for the side of hold on, I got it, Odyssey, that's right. And the bomb, just to add insult to the injury as well. Hope is gonna mark the end of it, but hold on, Odyssey still has players up, and they're still in this fight to win. What's happening here? The Kings have fallen just a little bit behind, even with that huge ult. It's just not enough. It's just not gonna cut it. 73% on the point, and they're gonna get a 75. Yes, they are. That is all they can get.
Not a bad effort at all, but eventually the defense is set up. I think this is where Bubbles really wish they were on the Mei, because they have the opportunity to control these chokes, and the Mei will get so much value, but the Reaper is still going to do a lot of work, just blasting down the tank of Aether, and a lot of damage. The defense matrix not quite picking up the Blizzard.
Oh, the High Noon from the side. Sabertooth absolutely just showing so much domination on the DPS tonight. And the wall as well. Curry, sadly, hate to see it. You absolutely hate to see what just happened there. The stagger.
Yeah, that was a double DPS ult investment from Kings there, and it paid off. I think you could have gotten away without using the High Noon, if I'm being perfectly honest, but at the end of the day...
Oh, but the shatter comes out again. It's pretty big. It's got 2 of them. Parisian in the back line. You can't do what Sabertooth does. Aether and Mbao trying to get some kills out there. Bubbles gets that frag on the Aether. That's a pretty hefty one if you're on the side of Kings. He almost had that ult there. The High Noon comes out. Sabertooth grabs Curry, and Smacker gets that refrag back out, while the Geminix's ult has to be just thrown in there to keep this game alive. The Shadow comes out, grabs that Reaper. Reaper's gone out of that mix now, but is it going to be able to be won just from that? We'll see in just a moment. That Shadow comes out, but Aether, you've just got reflexes of steel, man. You can't be stopped in that situation. 30% is now on the clock for Odyssey.
You are right, and the re-engage is coming in so quickly. Aether and co from Kings not wanting to waste any time, and it's really smart. They have a free engage because Maka was on so low HP, they couldn't even feasibly contest the point. And now, after the flip, it's just right back in their favor.
Here it is. The bomb comes out. May dies, who's on the Lucio. And Geminix, Curry, Purple, dude, you just dominated that round. The DPS come out and Ace Kings are making my point count look a little bit better.
They are wonderful displays from them. And look at this, the substitute player of Aether picking up the play of the game early. What a performance from them. Here it is. That was absolutely massive. Taken out of the fight, but Sabretooth and Shinanomi are able to finish off the work that was so nobly started by Aether. And oh, look at that. 14 Earthshatter kills. That is a pretty monstrous statistic right there. That is that's Gary B numbers level of Reinhardt.
As a Reinhardt man, I love that. I love that card. Just seeing your babies, your well thought out and well planned shatters not going to waste with that card that says shatter kills.
It is a good one. I do enjoy it. I'm
so
pretty big.
Much nicer.
We are going
screw the damage card. Shatter card is all where it's at.
Yeah. We are going into our second map. Ace Kings hoping to continue their map winning streak. And they have been pushed into playing Eichenwald Odyssey, making that pick as they were the losers of the first map. Not varying too far off the beaten track from what we saw in our previous game tonight. Slayer back to Eichenwald. The May from Bubbles is still monstrous here. I have seen them in action do it before. I have no reason to believe they wouldn't do it again. So, really exciting prospect, but also very quickly, Eichenwald, particularly the first point, is one of the maps where we could see Rujin whip out the Fire pick that they are so well known for. So, that is also on the field as well. I have seen May play the Mercy. Them and Rujin could be a pretty deadly combo up in the sky with Bubbles reinforcing on the floor. It could be a very, very tough defense to crack if Odyssey is able to pull it off well.
Yeah, look, it is up to the... Sometimes, depending on what comp you're running, it's up to the sky to see what happens and how effective the fights run. And with Div 4, you know, it's a little lower than Div 2. It's going to be different. You know, we've already seen a different outcome with the picks, especially from Div 2 to Div 4. It's night and day. You know, but here we go. Like, Aether isn't. Sorry, let me gain my thoughts.
Yeah, let's go. I want to listen. I'm excited.
Yep. Aether isn't scared to be showing something other than like, as we earlier discussed. You know, Brawl is easier when you have subs or trials. But Aether's different, right? Aether's got that absolute. No, never mind. Aether was on Monkey.
They were teasing the Monkey. I did see that. I saw where you were going. But still relying on the Reinhardt, and I think that is a very good decision as you hit Force Slayer. It is easier to shot call from my perspective at least, and I'm imagining from yours as a Ryan player well, it is easier to shot call a Brawl than it is a dive, and that is a big Mayball, but can they get anything out of it? They do!
Oh, but Purple! Look at that early kill! Sabretooth as well, taking that, again, McCree diff. Geminix though, that's a nice kill onto Aether. Gonna be proud of that one, ladies and gentlemen. But the fight's already over, pretty much.
It is. That was so decisive. That is the word I would use to describe that fight. Decisive. They held the choke, the May wall landed successfully, and they immediately went in for the kill. And this fight is not as good. They have had to retreat all the way back to the point.
There we go. Look, the barrier's destroyed for Aether there. It's looking a little grim, but the health bars on the side of Odyssey are looking even worse. Bubbles takes out Aether, and that's the only frag they've gotten so far. Purple's getting pretty dangerously low on HP, but is immediately healed back up. Bubbles almost dies. Curry still on that as well. Look, we're just trading health, but in the end, Odyssey finally comes back with those frags. Maka and Curry absolutely eating up the Kings' final dinner before they fall into second point.
They do. Second point is on the way. It is coming quick and fast. And it is going to be Koala's Odyssey pushing the payload towards that first gate. And because of the time that it takes the gate to open, it should give the side of Kings enough time to kind of set up some semblance of a defense. But Maka and Curry are not wanting to allow that. They are taking the fight so early, even though the payload isn't quite moving yet.
The Mei ult is out. Are they going to be frozen? Yes, they are. That's a huge freeze! And a big shatter to come back with as well! The 6-man is already done! The fight is already over! And second point is very nicely still at those first archways.
It is. That was very good capitalization from Aether and Co. on the defense. Still having to give up ground eventually, but they invested 3 ults and they invested very well.
Here we go, the huge, once again, Sabretooth hasn't had a high noon under at least 2 players, and it is insane. Another team kill rings out throughout the arena.
Yeah, they did. They've done that 2 times in a row now. The first time it was the Graviton Surge. It was the first time was 3 ults. This time it was 2 ultimates. Now they are only down to 1. They will not be able to play nearly as aggressive, as Gat cannot feasibly beat aggressively because they have to save it for the Graviton Surge, which will be coming out so quickly from Curry. And
Sabretooth gets such an important
The mobility is completely out of the equation. Aether, what was that?
The ult comes out for the side of the Ace Kings. And that's about as much as they need. All they needed was that 1 ult that they had. And again, almost get that team kill ringing back out, but the supports are still alive, just back at from spawn.
I have no clue how the Kings are maintaining their ultimate cycle here. They're using them so aggressively, and quite a lot of them, if I'm being perfectly honest. But somehow, in the last fight, after they expended their last resource, it was just enough time for Aether to build up the slam, and now the cycle can continue. If that gives them time for Shinomi to build up an Ant Matrix, Sabretooth to build up a High Noon, it can just keep on going, and Odyssey are stuck in the dark.
Sabretooth has a High Noon. Shinomi has their ult as well. Aether drops the Maka's Shatter, but, Aether drops Curry there. The High Noon comes out, Sabretooth is looking for someone to die, and he does grab Mei. That's the smallest High Noon they've got, and it's still got someone. So, Curry finishes off Sabretooth in the back line there, and the fight is now on the bridge there. I always keep forgetting the name bridge.
It's a bridge, and it do be bridging. But finally, we see the long-term effects of running such an aggressive defense. Eventually, they just do not have the ultimate to expend to make it work. But as I say that, the Graviton Surge is out. They could turn this around slightly.
Absolutely, and it does look like it has the potential. Never mind. Aether gets frozen, taken out. Gat falls as well, and Shinomi and Sabretooth shortly follow. Purple taking out Bubbles, but Lucio, otherwise known as Mei, not liking that at all.
That is an ultimate from Purple that they might be wanting back. The switch is warranted to the Mei though, so if they just want to cut out because they knew they were going to swap, that is also acceptable. And now we are going to see a few mind games. That was baited the slam, read them like an absolute book. Wonderful Ryan play from Aether.
Aether trying to get those heals in, getting low on HP once again. Shinomi just getting back into the safety of the corner. And that massive beat goes to everyone on the side of Odyssey there. Kings trying to get a single kill, trying to get something to happen here, but it's just not happening. Bubbles, Maka, Curry, all of them just ruining the days of everyone else, and that Shatter going through Aether's lack of shield there. And there it is, 3 meters turned to 0. In a blink of an eye.
That was pretty cool from the offense from what we saw. The fight started off not exactly in their favor. Maka very much on the losing end of the Rhine games. I don't know how well the stream picked it up, but I had a perfect view at it from my PC. Aether was one. He was using the toggle function on the shield. That means you can hold it up and still like turn around while keeping the shield in the same place. And as the slam came out, he just let go of that left click, and the shield turned right back around to block the slam from Maka. Very, very good play from them. But it just wasn't enough because eventually Ryujin, she came out with the high noon, and it corralled them all into that one like little side point of the map, right where the payload's about to finish. And then from there, Maka just had free reign to swing into there. Probably had enough time to build up another shatter to chuck in at Aether. So just really good play from them, corralling them into the right environment where they want to take those fights. And it warrants them a just under 2-minute time bank, which is nothing to bat an eyelid at, Slayer.
No, look, a lot of time banks stop at like a minute 30. You know, this is above the average. You know?
Yeah, it is. And looking at this defense now, we are seeing the Mei that I've been hyping up from Bubbles all night long. And surprising, no Pharah coming out. But that is not surprising at the end of the day, given how proficient Sabretooth has been on that hit scan. Probably a bit scary playing a Pharah into as lethal of a McCree as Sabretooth. But the Mei will still have just as good of an impact. Aether there could have been a wall there.
Look at that. They just keep pushing forward. Kings, though, they get walled off, and sadly Maka falls there. Ryujin gets the kill on the end bow, but Aether gets their partner's death right back at Sabretooth. That was just dirty. Fight's over.
Respect coming through, and Sabretooth showing that they are a bit more than just a McCree player, popping off on the Doom as well. We do love to see it from them. And a very, very quick point A capture. Over 5 minutes left in the time bank. I think that given how one-sided that fight was in favor of the offense, the defense of Odyssey here will not have the luxury of playing super aggressive on the defense as Kings did. But with that first pick, they might still want to.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's down to the point where Sabretooth is back and Bubbles has quite a trek to go before you get back into position. So Sabretooth, so Kings actually have the upper hand here just a little bit, if only for a second, because they have the positional advantage, but they stick to card.
Big payload progress coming through, but now the main tanks have dropped to the floor and the games really begin. It will be Earthshatter versus Earthshatter, Maka and Aether trying to get each other's heads to bait something out. Aether needs to be really careful with the flashbang from
Aether gets it! And Maka falls immediately after as well! This is what you love to see! Just the main tank difference going through the head! That's it! You can't get any better than blocking the shatter and immediately using your own to say, hey mate, this is how you use shatter.
Oh, that was so good from Aether. Beautifully followed up by the rest of the team as well. Aether consistently getting the better of Maka, particularly in those Earthshatter battles. I don't want to call it a main tank difference because that is disrespect to how well Maka has been playing. But Aether certainly having the upper hand. Maka might have to step up their game is the tiniest little bit if they want to give their team a better chance at continuing their success in this series.
Look, absolutely. Look at this steamroll continuing. Ryujin takes Cat out, but Sabretooth solo ults Ryujin right back at him. And finishes up Geminix as well. Mei falling off the side of the world there. I really hate calling them Mei.
Man, that
it just stuffs with me.
It's a little bit unfortunate, but this is some pace coming out here from the offense of Kings. They are wasting no time getting into point C, and they have ultimates to use as well. This will be a very, very hectic fight.
Shatter! Aether doesn't turn around in time, and actually, the bait actually doesn't work in its favor. It actually pulls it back around, and the MTD calls come out in chat.
I don't know how warranted that is, Sabretooth. Oh, I love it. I don't think it was meant super disrespectfully, but at the end of the day, Maka, I'm pretty sure that was a 5-person slam that secured them that fight. Beautiful play from them. Curry coming in with the grab to help clean it up. There's still a lot of ultimates invested, so this next fight should ultimate-wise go into the favor of Kings, who are on pace to set a ripping offense.
Yeah, Ryujin gets that frag on the N-bow. And continuing this, we should be seeing the side of Odyssey getting some more frags here and now, maybe. Let's see what happens further on.
Yeah, slowed right down here, actually, Slayer, and that's all good. Because I think that Kings are kind of realizing, zoinks, we have to kind of figure out how we want to attack this. And their method is to choose to mirror the Junkrat. And the tire, speaking of the Junkrat, is out for Ryujin, going so far forward, but not getting any kills. But it bought time and space for the team to hold aggressive. But now Maka is going to be under so much pressure from the shield.
Oh, that is the name of the game, time, space, and hopefully a few frags. Aether, though, in that backline, just cleaning up as Maka got that nice little tooth-man shatter. But hold on, Aether, you can't forget about them.
Oh, and May is getting brutally stacked.
Oh.
So unfortunate for them. That is a little bit of an L. They will be lacking a mercy going into this final fight unless they are super, super speedy about it. And they're all grabbing the door. They won't even touch Slayer.
They can't even touch. All of them went out the same door, and that is a fatal mistake when you have someone like Enbao with their ults up.
Even the May wall as well could have achieved the exact same thing. That is a... I did not expect that kind of a mistake to be coming through. Someone had to have gone through that other door to just negate the possibility of that being as impactful as it was. But still, even if there was a mistake from Odyssey, you have to give credit to Embo and Purple on the Zarya and the May respectively for pulling that play off. It takes a lot of intuition to realize that they can do that in the heat of the moment. There's so much going on, but they still recognize the win condition, recognize how massive of a play it could be, and that is one for the highlight reels for sure. I hope I don't see any C9s in chat, because that was not a C9. That was just a good play from Embo.
That was a good play. Yeah, no. If you say that's a C9, I will personally show you what a C9 is.
Yeah, you'll whip out your feeding pants. I kind of respect that. Oh, look at Gat.
I'll whip out the feed pants and C9 myself.
Gat's looking hella comfy on the loose right now. He's just chilling. Just doing their own
chill.
And this defense is going to be pretty clinical. The Junkrat spam down the choke is going to do an obscene amount of damage. So Maka is going to have a tough time conserving that shield health, and it's going to be a really tough engagement here with the Bears as well.
Yeah, there we go. Aether's on that, trying to get some damage out. Almost getting frozen in the way though. But Curry though actually does get that freeze out. Very low HP for both of the tanks on the side of Odyssey there. Not looking the best, but at the same time, getting back out and doing their best.
What is this from Ryujin? They were thinking about going all the way around the outside, but think the better of it and Aether again.
Aether continuing the absolute demolition of Odyssey there. Aether and Enbao, the tanks, just doing work. Curry is not able to get out of that one. You have a pin and your name definitely for that pin.
That was... I think that the really big thing separating these teams, particularly on Iconwall, has been May on the Lucio for Koala's Esports Odyssey. They have been dying at the worst possible times. Gat, on the other hand, is managing to stay alive, and that extra bit of healing, and I imagine the shot calling as well by being in the fight.
The hammer goes down. They're trying to do something. Maka just gets that one shatter down. Does get that freeze though, but in the end, it is looking Odyssey here. Never mind with a grab like that. 13 seconds left on the clock. We're just having to wait. It's the last 10 seconds. Are they going to be able to actually touch this in the end? looking at Ryujin here. He's trying his best to get there. 2 seconds left. You need a touch, man. He does get the touch. It is overtime, ladies and gentlemen. But is anyone else on the side of Odyssey going to be able to get there in the first place? No, they are not. Lucio tries their best, but May cannot get to point.
The win condition is set in stone for Ace King's Slayer, my man. They have 2 minutes and 51 seconds. They have that time to get exactly 1 tick on the capture progress, and Eichenwald will be theirs, as will a 2-0 lead in this series. Also, very quickly, before I start talking about this defense, I just want to elaborate a bit on my point about the May and Gat difference at the moment. That is not at all a discredit to May. It is more of a, wow, Aether and co are doing a really good job of capitalizing on those small missed positions that I'm sure Gat is making as well. I've seen a few times where Gat is a little bit out of place, but they're getting away with it. And I've just forgotten team names. Kings are just so much more clinical at capitalizing on those mistakes, and that is the big difference maker so far in this series. And the defense, not straying too far off the beaten path here, Slayer. Still on the May, which is 100% warranted. Along with the Ana, if an Ana nade can land, like, using the May wall as a backboard, essentially, and getting everyone who is isolated antied as well, there is basically no hope of keeping them alive. So, but also on the offense, they're teasing something pretty sneaky. They have the Farah being teased, but without a Mercy, I'm unsure how long they will actually stick onto it. Is it just a scouting? No, they look like they actually want to stick on the Farah. And Ryujin is down so the Farah will be completely uncontested.
This isn't looking good for Odyssey. Once again, they only need 1 tick. Kings does. They don't even need to go past that. But hold on, it's just the steamroll. It's just going past. As we said, that Chugga needs a choo-choo, and the end of the game is the choo-choo in this position.
It absolutely is. Ace Kings taking Eichenwald. Very decisive offense. I love how they utilized the Farah there. The Farah was by no means the core part of that composition, but it was more of a distraction. The Farah was up in the sky saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a Farah, I have rocket, pew pew pew." But then in the backline, Aether was just going absolutely ham. And there we get a very nice view of Sabretooth doing the thing on McCree. So good with those high noons all throughout. As we venture on further on into the series, the option is between Volskaya and Anubis. None of those are super heavy McCree maps, but given the prevalence of Junkrat, I imagine we might be heading off to Anubis once again, purely for that reason.
Look, I'm around this bracket. Anubis is 100% picked.
Oh, it's a drum roll. The question has been asked in chat. I do not know who it is, though. Is it going to be Volskaya or Anubis? I want my prediction to be right so badly, Slayer. But this could be the end of the line for Odyssey here, Slayer. Kings are up 2-0. Very good displays, even though the substitute is on the field, particularly on the main tank position. Aether not showing any stutter in their step whatsoever. So solid on the Rhine, showing up, really coming in very big for Kings. I'm sure that they will get, I don't know, maybe a scratch and sniff sticker at the end of this for their efforts.
The scratch and sniff stickers. I remember being given those out. Look.
Did you?
Half of the stream is like, back in my day. Also, it was Anubis. I fucking told you. Sorry for my language. That slipped.
Yeah, you will be sorry. That is so awful. Yeah, cut it out, man.
Cut it out. I'm sorry, man.
No. Back to the more important topic of scratch and sniff stickers. I don't know if you saw it, but a few years ago, I think it was a few years ago, PETA, like the animal company, they released scratch and sniff stickers that smelled like rotting corpse, and I think that's kind of epic.
Alright. So there's 2 things to that. One, I'm curious.
How many rotting corpses did they smell to make sure that they were doing it right? That is my question.
Apologies to A, man. You're the best, dude. Not taking us off air.
That like it's just it's pretty good. Imagine like doing something really sick in like year one. Like you wrote like a really nice capital letter at the start of your
get a running cough,
and then the teacher like slaps that bad boy statue and it just smells like decaying bodies.
Oh no! That would be more punishment. Oh!
If you get below 10 out of 20 on your spelling test, you get the rotting corpse sticker.
You get the corpse sticker. Oh no, dude, we're gonna be cut off. Oh man, but back to the games. Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, that makes a decent
favorite.
It's
favorite.
You gotta love draw Anubis, as the old Papadaka would call it. But it makes a lot of sense. There's lots of places where you can get value out of a May, and a lot of, as we saw a bit later into that round on Iconwall, there was a lot of Junkrat being chucked around, which also is very possible to be pulled out, particularly on the defense. We also have the chance for someone like Sabretooth or Bubbles to flex over to the more long-range hit scan, as we saw Luke and I believe it was Winter do so well in our previous series tonight. So there is a lot of potential on the cards here, and it's a little bit up in the air, so we just need to kind of wait to see what these two teams pick, and then I'll maybe be able to talk about something that might actually happen.
Yeah, absolutely. But look, 15 seconds left for both of those teams to collect their thoughts and collect their team composition and what they're gonna do this coming round.
Ooh.
They're ready for battle, and we are seeing some really cool stuff coming out here. That Sombra of note.
I haven't seen Sombra come out in a hot minute. I remember back in the day, and this would have been like 2017, Sombra was always played on Anubis by Point B by the AIM support players, and they always like hacked the Mega Pack underneath the bridge on Point B, and that would be their source of heals. But because of how Sombra has changed and roll lock, that is obviously not an option. Instead of hacking the health packs, Sabretooth will be aiming to hack the will be aiming to hack probably the main tank. So if Maka gets in there and cannot jump out because they're hacked, that is essentially a guaranteed kill. So that will be the win condition for Sabretooth. Also, the EMP is just a monstrous ultimate. Will make landing slams for Aether even better. And also, we're getting our first glimpse of the Rujin Fire. I have been told to look out for them. I've seen it in action before. It is a sight to behold, and we finally get our first glimpse of it tonight here on Temple of Anubis.
Absolutely, and it's a good map for it as well. Ryujin grabbing that golden gun, that San Francisco shocking skin. But look at this, it's going around that back line, trying to find something, and he does find Sabretooth in the end there. Enval took out his teammate Maka, but he's in that back line, and you should be afraid, ladies and gentlemen. Kings, you should watch out for the man Ryujin.
Ryujin, a little bit of a menace on that far. Already up to that ultimate ability, essentially. That will be so crucial if comboed with something like a Graviton Surge from Curry. Everyone locked up there, and just the abundance of damage that comes to that barrage could be pivotal. Sabretooth trying the Pharah, but Ryujin asserts dominance over the mere mortal Pharah players. And Point A goes pretty comfortably, in favor of Koala's Esports Odyssey. And now as they are surging towards Point B, the ultimates are online that could suggest that a snowball is very possible here, particularly the Nanoblade that will be coming online later in this fight. If this goes the distance,
we
very possible.
can't see another death coming out from the side of Kings, or the snowball will probably be intact. So what we're trying to do here is just stop that from happening. Ryujin though gets one more, Gat is down. And it's only getting worse for Kings as Odyssey just keeps taking player after player. Enval takes out Maka, and hopefully that's going to start something for Kings here, or else Odyssey's going to be down here with a 5-minute time bank, and we cannot let that happen, saying Kings. The Kings are just trapping onto these last hopes, and look at that. The 2 CP difference just came fully into effect.
Oh, that snowball was so close to happening, but unfortunately, Purple on the Tracer just remained elusive for so long. It bought time for the respawns to come back. I think if the Tracer was picked off a little bit earlier, this could very easily be a 2-tick situation for Odyssey, but it isn't. But also, they still made pretty significant progress, 44.5% on the board, and they are by no means out of this matchup. The snowball wasn't necessary, it would have just been a luxury at this point. The Nano Boost online likely going on to Maka, but will they even invest it if they've lost a pick early?
Ryujin there looks like he might have DC'd. Watching him walk straight into some walls there. And he does have that bad DC there. Ryujin has been taken down. The Farah of the Skies and now the Farah of the W key.
That is a little bit unfortunate.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I just need to grab myself a cup of water. I ran out too quick. I have like a 2-liter bottle, right? Run out.
Oh man, you be chugging that water. You be doing Papadaka proud real quick.
Talk about some stuff. I'll be right back.
So, hey guys, you're with me. This is kind of epic. I'm happy to take this first fight. Let's go. I think we can hop right into it. And as we go into this next fight, the big question will be, Ryujin is down early. Will they invest the Nano Boost onto Maka, and is there any semblance of keeping this fight alive? I personally don't hope they will. Instead, it will be the Primal, and the Nano Boost is online, but it is onto the Zarya instead. They very much want to take this fight. Maka is on low HP, so early, getting shredded, eventually taking a by Purple on the Tracer, and it looks like that this offensive push was just not meant to be. That was a pretty lackluster investment of ultimates, excuse me.
Yeah.
The Primal Rage invested, as was the Nano Boost. There are some ultimates that the offense would very much be wanting back, but they still have plenty of time to make this work. However, as we pan over to the defense, the sound barrier online for GAT is going to be really in a tough situation here, because they have to ask the question to themselves: will they sound barrier the Graviton Surge of Curry, or will they sound barrier the Blade of Bubbles? That is the big question they have to ask themselves, and it will be very interesting to see how they approach this dilemma.
Or maybe both of them come out at the same time and they beat them both. But we don't have to worry about Ryujin, with Purple getting another pulse bomb right onto Ryujin's face. Area is denied. Sorry, by Aether there on the ball. Once again, not a Rhine 1 trick. And definitely showing that with those balls placement.
That's kind of filthy all the way around, but the silver lining for Quasi's Odyssey here is they only use that one ultimate, and with that pick, they might want to try and make something happen, but Ryujin, the main powerhouse at the moment, is still out of action. They have succumbed to the false form of Purple 2 times in a row, and as Purple approaches a third at lightning speed, it would be very demoralizing if the Farah was taken down for a third time by the Tracer. And Purple is so low, but just manages to get out, it looks like.
The beat comes out, and so does the bomb. You're kind of stuck there, Maka. Ryujin and Maka are taken out, but the Nano Blade comes out. Are we going to be able to see something coming around here? Is the Nano Blade going to be enough to be able to take this back from a loss to a win? It sadly is not.
And there we saw GAT use the sound barrier in response to the Graviton Surge, and very luckily for GAT, the rest of their team was very on point, making sure that the Nano Blade did not get any value whatsoever. Something that could have been very bad is saved by the rest of the team, stepping up when it is needed. Beautiful play all the way around, and going into about under 90 seconds left on the clock here. The defense is looking rock solid. They haven't really moved an inch since that initial snowball, so anything is still possible, and they do have time. If Bubbles really speeds it up, they do have time to pull off another Nano Blade, and they could beat GAT to it before GAT even gets the sound barrier.
Yeah, but have a look here. Another Volstorm comes out. It does catch Ryujin. Doesn't immediately kill him, but it does lead into his death. Another nice minefield comes out from Aether there, stopping any movement from the Odyssey players inside there. Geminix falls pretty quickly there, and Sabretooth takes Curry out pretty quickly as well. Bubbles left just as the spoils.
Yeah, I think that at this point it might be worth swapping if you're Rougeon. Even though you do have the ult, the Fardus hasn't been working out for them since that first point. On first point it went really well, but they have just been going through the meat grinder so far on point 2. And we are going down. We have about 15 seconds on the clock. They need to make something happen. There is no more room for mistakes. Every player on this team needs to be getting maximum value if they want to take point B.
Absolutely, and hey, look here, point B is definitely back under construction. Ladies and gentlemen, Rougeon is destroying it with a bunch of bombs going off. Sabretooth, though, gets a nice frag off onto Gemini here. We're trying to see some more Bubbles. Can you turn this around with a nano blade? Yes, you can, buddy. It's now even. It's now winnable. We're seeing some more players from Odyssey get onto the point here, while Kings, they're just having to struggle to get back to point. Curry kills Shinomi, and we're just seeing more damage come out. Odyssey is pushing back away from the point, regripping just a little bit more, but Kings, they have more members now. They're getting even more as time goes on. You need to start killing things. You need to be doing it now. Sabretooth is at 1, but is he going to actually die? Purple kills Ryujin, and the bomb comes down, going right onto Bubbles, and that is all she wrote.
That was a pretty good recovery on the stagger there. 2CP just in general doing the defense a lot of favors, but they do manage to hold on 50. They didn't get more than 55%. That is wow. I thought that the side of Koala's Esports there certainly got a second tick, but they somehow managed to not. That is ridiculous. That has caught me way off guard. But that is how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. The Farah pick from Rougeon not getting as much value as they might have liked on that point B. And I'm just going to have to take a quick break, sorry.
That is fair enough. I took a break. Now chat. It's time with Slayer now. Hey.
I've returned, never mind.
Oh, what the hell? Come on, I was just starting my monologue with chat.
Okay, I'll be quiet. You can do your monologue.
Okay. Hi. Yeah, he's gone again. Don't worry. It's only us. So, how's things, chat? You know, everything's all grand. You know, what's your coffee order? I want to know your coffee order, so I can roast you on your coffee. That's it. You know.
Was that a roast?
Don't drink. Oh my god. If you don't drink coffee, well, I'm sorry. I can also roast you on your tea. We do those too.
Do you roast tea? I thought it was like a tea bag.
You can tea can be roasted, I think.
Right, I learn something new every day.
Can it? I don't know. But anyway, back to the match here. Aether and his crew with Kings now. Taking the high ground position for this game. Ryujin, just not enough. Shinomi is immediately taken down, and there go both of the supports for Kings. How are they going to stay alive now? I don't think they can hold it for much longer. Curry takes out Enbow and Aether, and now it's just up to the DPS to die.
Pretty interesting defense coming out here. Maka rocking the Sigma as more of an off-tank than anything, and I think the one word to describe this composition that is being played on the defense is picks. They are looking for the picks. They are looking for the hook. They are looking for the stray Hanzo headshot. They are looking for the Farah rockets, a Sigma rock, anything like that. And as one pick, it is not enough to engage like this. Now, the side of X, they have to wait another, a bit over 10 seconds, wait for Gat to get back, regroup, and then they can have another crack of it. And odds are, if the defense is sending their shots, they'll just get picked off right again. This is such an effective strategy on this point when they have to go through the choke.
Yeah, the choke is absolutely just no man's land right here. There is a bit of a kill box going onto the side of Odyssey, but that wall completely nullifies any box that they had open for them. And now point control is over to Kings. They almost got that tick up. It's just not enough. He's so close, man. Ryujin gets that ult off. almost falls. He does in the end. There's three players down for the side of Odyssey with only 2 down on Kings. Does get that pin off Aether, absolutely destroying May, but Curry kills Aether in the end too. Bubbles kills off Gat, and Nbao is the last one to fall.
Yeah, this defense is still holding strong, but really crucially for the offense of Ace here, of Ace Kings, I should say, is that they aren't really using their ultimates and not getting any value out of it. The Stags is out early, but that is very well warranted. And now that everyone is on the point, they have all the ultimates to use to finally break this defense.
Look here, we've got the Diva versus the Ana. Who's gonna win? I reckon it's gonna be the Diva. Back on point, we have an all-out brawl going on here. And there it is, it ends with a point capture for the side of Ace Kings. And now, victory is only a tick and a half away.
Yeah, 55% separating Kings and victory, and the slam is a good way to start it off. Ace started off with the stairs with a monster slam, hoping to end it with one as well.
Oh, look at here, so the dragons and the what is his ult called again? Please enlighten me.
Which ultimate?
The Sigmas.
Gravitic Flux.
Gravitic Flux. Yeah, that's it.
You've been enlightened. That is $5.
$5. Damn, that cheap.
It's a lot of right there, buddy. It's a little bit unlucky. But the defense, they're going to have to set up camp for around 3 minutes here and hope to hold. But it'll be really tough playing into the ultimates that are about to come online. I think the beat could probably even be used aggressive from Gat, because there isn't really a big defensive ultimate that they have to play against now that Macca's Gravitic Flux is offline. So Gat could look to play aggressive with the beat once they've all successfully got into caves.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, they're kind of in this situation where they're separated from their Widow and their Diva, but the Diva gets back, and Widow being separated isn't that bad, actually, now that I think about it. But that definitely is bad for the side of Odyssey there. Ryujin gets tagged down, and Bomb goes down as well. It doesn't catch Ryujin, but Ryujin is still on the ropes a little bit there with that purple active. He does take out purple, though, with his purple still up. Oh, no, wait. No, that was a nano, not a purple. What am I on about? We do know that Kari takes out Aether and Nbao gets that revenge onto Ryujin, but that is about all she wrote for this another push for the side of Kings.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. They tried the bait, but now, because they took so long to use it, since I kind of thought it might be an option, Gat will not have that online for when Macca's Gravitic Flux comes back. And the Kings are about to walk into a fight where they're going to get bombarded with, what, like 4 or 5 ultimates? Oh, probably 4. So
I would try fight this
really tough fight coming up for Kings. I think if I were Kings here, I would just tank this one, try and get as much ultimate charge as you can, really crucially towards that Pharah ult and that Lucio beat, and then come back with a vengeance next fight for your last opportunity.
Hold on, Region does take out purple. The shadow comes out right into the shield. It is a sad day for Aether. Those big shadows of the previous days are gone, and all that is left is Monkey.
Monkey. I have to go back to Monkey! And
they did go back to Monkey, otherwise known as Spawn.
Okay, so Monkey is now a metaphor for Spawn. That's going to get really confusing when anyone's playing Winston, but we'll just have to roll with it. It'll be okay.
To Monkey. No, don't go to Winston, go to Spawn, you.
No, you win some, you lose some. This is potentially, considering how slow this pathing is and the setup for this brawl composition to succeed is, this could very much be final fight territory. Last chance for Kings to avoid going any more than 3 maps, and they are going to walk into a really tough time. Playing into this room, Ryujin could get a lot of value out of the fire hole.
Ryujin in the back though, he does get that little bit of a stun, and he does fall as well. Both of the Mercy and the Pharah are now gone. But here's the problem though. Nbao is out of the protection of the mech. Curry has got that ult all active, but he can't get his heals up. He's low. Bubbles is low. There's a lot of people low on the side of Odyssey, but is there going to be any kills coming out? Yes, there is. Sabretooth gets out Mako, but Ryujin gets Sabretooth. That's pretty much a free flying for Ryujin now. Let's hope that something else comes out here. The Hanzo's Dragons come straight onto point. 2 seconds left. Here's the bomb. Hello, did you drop a present? I sure did. Hope you love it. It is so close, ladies and gentlemen. It is 3-3 on point. High Noon's out in the back. We're trying to find something for Sabretooth. May does get it. And that's it. May was the only one on point. Ace Kings gets the victory and takes the series. Not series. The round, the game, whatever it is, they win.
They do take the series. That's 3-0 to them.
Take the series. Hey.
Yeah, that was you hit the nail on the head there, Slayer. That was such an intense final fight, though. I was thinking, there's no way they can bring this back. They got a tick and a half off staggers, even in playing against just the fundamentals of 2CP and how it plays out. So good from Kings. Valiant defense. Probably the best display that we saw out of Odyssey all night was probably on Eichenwald. They did a really good job, but they also stood up big time on that defense on Temple of Anubis. Still have to be humble in victory, and Ace Kings with the sub go up 3-0.
And look, along with Ace Kings' dub, Kings' dub, I also get that dub with them channel points.
You did too.
I did. There you go. 4K into that one. Easy win. Let's go. And so did Abe. And hopefully you guys had some fun as well. Maybe got some channel points out of tonight's games. If you didn't, bad luck. We go again next week. But
yeah,
sadly,
thank you so much
that is all from us.
Yeah, just before we go though, we do have to quickly remind everyone about the AOE Patreon. Big special shout out to Galileo Random Thing, who we saw play earlier tonight, Kerberos, Raiden, and Lamington for being our supporters over on the Patreon, allowing us to produce as much good quality content as we can.
Absolutely. And look, this is Easter weekend, ladies and gentlemen. For all of you at home, having a nice long weekend, absolutely go ham with it. I hope you guys have the best Easter you've had so far. And look, that's going to sadly be it from all of us. I mean, you can all catch us in the AOE Discord. You know, I don't mind getting a little ping every now and again. Do you?
No, it is certainly okay with everyone here. This has been AAOL Season 12, Stage 2. I have been Nikki. With me tonight has been Slayer. Big props to Abby, who's behind the keys as well. We will see you in the very near future.